subscribe, enter it into the search engine, and then find it. Or our amazing best mods on YouTube will drop the link to the HOK Coliseum. Come on over. Come on over. So while we hold off for the other, we have two other people that I really want to join, but we don't have to just sit here quietly and twiddle our thumbs, right? I'm going to go around and have everyone introduce themselves, and we'll let people, let us know their background, because this is a conversation this is a philosophical, religious conversation about belief and conceptualization of God, atheism and theism. Atheists and theists, they think alike. That's what we're talking about. Some of the people on the panel might prove us wrong today. So yeah, Nepal, you talk a lot. I have to get it out. I'm a communicator. So I'll start with ladies first. DJ Genesis is joining us. DJ Genesis, introduce yourself and let us know at least if you're a theist or an atheist, and then we'll just flow along around the panel. Thank you so much. Okay, you're muted. You're muted. Go.
My name is DJ Genesis, and I am a theist. I practice. I'm actually a priest in Ifa. I'm a actual Olarisha, and a priest of Oya is my actual priesthood. And yeah, so I practice African religion, and I'm definitely a theist.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We will move on to Black Sage, and then just last but not least, Black Atheist. We're going to call you Bar. I like calling Black Atheist. So Black Sage, go ahead, brother. Take the mic and let us know who you are.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. And by the way, I'm sorry, but once we get through all the introductions, I'm going to go ahead and take it off. I'm going to end the stream on on House of Consciousness. I'm ending the stream on Sonetter Studios. So y'all come on over to the HOK Coliseum. All right. Thank you, Black Sage. We can hear you fine.
Yeah. Peace and blessings to you, family. Giving all praise to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Peace and blessings to our sister, Genesis on the panel, to our brother Black Atheist. Peace and blessings to you as well. Peace and blessings to our gracious host, the beautiful Napasha Da. Thank you for bringing us on together. Thank you for your scholarship. Give me 1 second.
Yes, of course. We'll come back to you. You want to come back?
No, I'm good. Thank you for your scholarship. Yeah, I'm just going to thank you for your scholarship and bringing this panel together. These conversations are important, and they need to be had. And I just want to say shout out to you again, Sister Nepal, for your beatdown of Matt Delusional. I call him. I don't call him Dylan Hunter. I call him Delusional, Matt Delusional. But thank you for your beatdown for him. It was epic.
All praise the Most High.
Yeah, so we just want to keep building on that momentum. I think it's important that we really have these conversations. And I'm glad Sister DJ Genesis is on here, because I've been studying some of the Ephod divination systems, and I see a lot of correlations that I hadn't seen before, even in the with respect of the Torah. So we really want to come down and have that. Shout out to our good brother Fatty that just joined the panel. Peace and blessings to you, family.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, we're just here for a great conversation. So let's get it in.
Thank you so much. Peace to you, Fatty. Thank you for joining. We're just going around right now. Yara, you turn up when for some reason when you turn off your camera, you disappear from the stage. Like StreamYard is like, oh, we're not even going to show your avatar. Just get out of here. So just letting everybody know, for some reason that's happening. Fatty, I'm going to introduce Black Atheist Rants, and then we'll get to you last but not least. You can let us know who you are, if you're a theist or an atheist, and just give us a little introduction of yourself to the audience. So let me get to Black Atheist Rants. Go ahead, brother. Let us know who you are.
Yeah, mic check. Can y'all hear me? Is it coming through good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I go by the name of Black Atheist Rants. I've been on YouTube for like 4 or 5 years or so. I recently moved to TikTok, and I go live on TikTok a lot. And basically, I've been doing a lot of studying on like history and the Abrahamic religions. And so like I was telling them before we started, I usually run a topic, and I just actually got off the live to come here. And so my topic that I usually run is Black people should not be Christians, Muslims, or Black Hebrew Israelites. And so, I've been I was on South Nutter like a couple months back,
Yes, we know.
And
that's why I
ever
brought
since
you
then
in.
I just really kind of and I search and trying to, because I just became a history buff. I care a lot about like the history and the historical aspects of religions and stuff. I don't know, as far as like people's like personal experience. I don't go off of that. I'm just going off what history shows us, what the data shows us, the archaeology, the facts, and I'm just trying to wake people up to the harm that's been done with these weapons.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh, we lost him. All right, well, we hopefully we'll get him back, but I'm going to move on to Fatty. Please introduce yourself to the audience, and also let us know if you are a theist or an atheist. And
hello, friends. Yes. My stripper name is Fatty. I'm from Portugal, Lisbon. I'm sorry I'm late, but when I click on the link, it said 2 a.m. in my country. So I don't know what happened, but I apologize if I delayed the start of the show. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. And I'm an atheist. I'm actually an agnostic. I'm open to change my mind if evidence show up. But for the most part, I definitely don't believe in no gods. I believe in science.
So okay, great. So you and Black Atheists have that in common. Thank you, Black Atheists, for sharing a little bit. And we'll get some more of that background on you that you were giving us about science, because that is the typical thing that we hear from a lot of atheists. They are very strong in science, and I'm not mad at that at all. Time me out because I said Napahat. What the heck? First off, this is my hair, and secondly, please, this is for an intelligent audience. So you're deleted and gone. I'm sorry, y'all. That will happen sometimes. People are talking crazy in the chat already. This topic is so triggering because it really talks about the beliefs of people. So when we're Black Sage, if you can hear me, I'm going to go ahead and play the video of Anthony Flew. I know Black Sage had to step away, but if anybody is familiar with who Anthony Flew is, anybody on the panel before I?
No.
Okay. Anthony Flew was like a pioneer, a go-to for almost every atheist. They would refer. He's a philosopher, and they would. He was an atheist, and they would always speak about him, or they still do use some of his old talking points. So let me just go to Encyclopedia Britannica. Yes, I'm doing that because I want to give people some background on who Anthony Flew actually is before I play the clip. Anthony Flew, as you see, I'm screen sharing, right? Okay. He's an English, or was an English philosopher, born in the 20s, passed away in 2010. So you're going to see an actual interview of him speaking in the flesh in that interview. So Flew was the son of a Methodist minister, and he was educated as a Christian at a Christian boarding school. As a teenager, he decided that the traditional Christian concept of a good God was inconsistent with the presence of evil in the world. That's very common for atheists to do that. I'm going to skip down. He adopted atheism because I want to just get to, those are all his accolades, all his background. But right here it says, in 1950, Flew delivered a short paper titled Theology and Falsification before Oxford's Socratic Club. Flew argued that theological utterances about God's nature, presence, power, or goodness are meaningless because there is no conceivable evidence that would refute them. And I'm saying in the natural world, that's the people like we heard the brother Black atheists and Fatty, they are atheists, and they say, well, we go with science, right? So he was like, Flu was like, nope, if we can't see it in the natural world, it does not exist. Flu quickly became a prominent figure in the philosophy of religion and popular intellectual spokesperson for atheism. His books, such as God and Philosophy, Atheistic Humanism, they were very popular. Even the famous atheists, such as Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris, wrote for popular, publishings like that were synonymous with what Antony Flew wrote for. So basically, what I'm saying is he's in the same level of Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris. So now that I showed you all that, let me look at everybody. Antony Flew. We lost some people. Dang. All right. Well, Antony Flew. Now you know, Fatty. He is like one of the pioneer atheists. Like everybody.
Okay, I fixed it. I got it working now.
Great. So I don't know if you heard that, but I'm laying some groundwork. So people know Antony Flew as like if you were in a debate, they would go to Antony Flew, just like people refer to Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris. So he's one of the pioneer atheist philosophers. With that understood, let's take a look at this clip now, right? And this clip was filmed about 13 years ago. And we have Antony himself in this clip saying, oh, I was wrong. God, there is a God. And let me tell you what I think. So please listen in. It's about a 2-minute clip. Hit the like while you listen in. Please let me get it. That wasn't it. 1 second. So any questions before I start this? Anybody?
Absolutely not. Go ahead.
All right, cool. So we're all on the same page. People know who he is. And
Even though I don't agree with him, by the way, science is not absolute. You'll be very ignorant to say that everything's science. Like you have to have definitive proof of something for something to exist. We did know a lot of things 10 years ago that we know now. So science is just the discovery of nature. Science is not perfect. Science updates itself every year, every day, all the time. So it's definitely, I don't agree with the fact. If science didn't get it, doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Awesome. Thank you for adding that. I appreciate it. And anybody can do what Fatty did. So now we know Fatty's not just cut and dry. Okay, great. And so now I will start this so we can look at the video and see what Antony Flew has to say. Where is the video? I got it. Just give me 1 second, y'all. While I'm doing this, which is only going to take like 5 seconds, hit the like button, please. Let me get back. All right, let me try this one more time.
So he's like the creator of modern day atheism.
He was one of the, well, not creator of atheism, but he's one of the founding like philosophers that they would refer to often, because he wrote so much about atheism, and he was like, you know, a real proponent of atheism. Okay, so here it is. Famous atheist Antony Flew realizes that there is, in fact, a God. Let's listen. Damn. Sorry, y'all.
Reconsider.
I don't know what's going on with StreamYard.
Atheism
Let me start that over.
come to the conclusion.
Okay, here we go.
What were some of the factors that prompted you to, in recent years, reconsider atheism and to come to the conclusion that that there is a intelligence?
It's been entirely these, I suppose, biological discoveries and discoveries about the chemistry.
So
these things,
the complexity and
the integrated complexity argument.
Now, when you talk about the integrated complexity, is it the unlikelihood of that developing naturalistically, the first complex integrated biological system? Is that where the problem you saw?
Well, yes, because after all, there is a problem about even, well, of physical nature. There's a, it's, if the integrated complexity of the physical world is a good reason, as Einstein clearly thought it was, of believing that there was an intelligence behind it, then this argument applies a fortiori with the inordinately greater integrated complexity of the living world. And it seems to me this is just obvious that that argument is much stronger now.
And this was one of the factors that led you to conclude there must be an intelligence.
Yeah. It was accepting Einstein, who after all was the person who's qualified to judge, and seeing that a fortiori this applied, where of course Einstein didn't have any authority at all and wasn't inclined reasonably enough to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. So now we are on number 85, the non.
I don't understand, man. I can't really get what he was talking about. I'm sorry. Maybe this is too what is he talking about? What is could you kind of give a roundup of what he, maybe my ADHD is too what's you're on mute, Nepal.
Damn, I'm sorry. I was saying, yes, I can explain it. He realized that he started to get to the idea and conceptualize a God from what he was experiencing and what he was, what the data that he's receiving throughout his research and his life. And I was saying, Fatty, did you figure out what was going on or no? You're asking in the chat.
No, it's because you have multiple links. The same time I came here the last time, I was looking at your chat, but it seems like you stream for multiple people. And I was hearing while I was coming here, you said, let's go to A, B, C, D. And I couldn't understand what it was.
Okay, you found it? Because it's HOK Coliseum.
Is what says above that. Okay, I got it.
Okay, great. So,
thank you very much.
No worries. Okay, so I can play it again. It seems like, does anybody, I don't know if Black Atheists, are you also having some issues with like what he
No,
basically...
I heard what he said. I just don't, I mean, people look at this world and it's like they count the hits and ignore the misses. What about all of the shit that's not intelligently designed? Or like, what about the things that are not placed perfectly? Like, we live on a planet that's mostly water that we can't drink. That's not intelligent. Or what about how, the sexual organs is right next to the shithole? That ain't intelligent. I mean,
okay, real quick, I want to let you know.
My bad.
Take it easy with that.
Yeah, like when people look at this world and they want to claim that it's intelligently designed, I'm like, are you looking at? There are many aspects of nature that are heinous, insidious, and twisted. Nature eats itself alive 24/7. Nature's always trying to unalive itself and others. That's not intelligent. Like, what? When they look at this world and they see complexity, I'm like, how does this get you closer to an invisible person in the sky or a mind in the sky? I mean, this world is literally full of chaos or full of things that are just not intelligent. A lot of things that exist just don't make logical sense if we're talking about intelligence.
Right. Okay. So we can look at the definition of intelligence, so we can all get on the same page what we mean by intelligent life. But I appreciate your input. Does anybody? Because Genesis was saying she had some issues with understanding. It's only 2 minutes. I can play it again. Because Daddy, did you want to comment on that, or did you get? Because I really wanted to play that for everybody to lay some groundwork about this particular very well-known atheist and philosopher. At the end, he said, "Oh wait, God does exist," and he's not the only intelligent mind who has said that. So
What was the particular reason he said that God exists?
right. Okay. I'm going to play it. It's only 2 minutes.
Well, no,
He's
could you put on
saying
point 25?
basically, he's saying, you know, because he can look around from what he says in the beginning, he's like, because he's looking at the natural world, which with atheists actually always say, show me God. I only believe in science. I only believe in science. So I do feel compelled to just, I mean, I don't have to play it all because I
It's
mean,
my thing is, it's very easy to believe in God when you are 3 breaths away from getting out of here. And for, I'm going to be very honest. And for someone that was atheist probably all his life, and all of a sudden he looks like a mummy, decrepit, looking at the sky, kind of contemplating his life, I think it's very easy for people to start to believe in things when they know they don't have a lot of times left. So I want to understand, if you can play the video again, what exactly made him go from atheist to believer?
And also, people, I don't know who said they believe in science. I've never understood science as something that you believe, like put belief in. I just look at it as science is the tool. I mean, you can believe what you want, but science says, like, if you stand on top of a building and you jump off, gravity's gonna pull you down. That's not a belief. That's 100% facts across the board. Nothing you can do is gonna stop you from coming off that building if you get on top and step off. So if that ain't nothing I wanna, that's not nothing to put faith in. You can see, you pick up a pen or a pencil and drop it, it's gonna fall 100 out of 100 times. That's not nothing to believe in. That's just, I don't know how they, what are they using science to say, but it's like it's just a tool from where I sit.
okay, right. But also, that's true. There's gravity. However, science does not fully know what a graviton actually is. So it's just something that they have hypothetically. There's no
Is it theory?
It's a theory. Well, it's not even a theory yet. It's a hypothesis.
Yes,
really.
yes, that's is a theory. It's not like is repetition. You jump out of a window, and 10 times out of 10 you go down. So
Correct.
they
Yeah.
actually can measure it. They can do a bunch of things. But like I said, it's like is a theory. So if we're going to go by what we can observe, at least once again, like gravity can be measured. You can't measure whatever this person said that they got going on. That's why I actually wanted to see the video again, just to make sure we are not misinterpreting, and we go from there.
Right. And when I'm yes, gravity, the everything about gravity with Isaac Newton, that we're talking about theories, proven theories. But when I said, I just want to make it clear because people, when I said hypothesis or that we don't know for sure what a actual graviton is, so I want to clear myself up with that. Not gravity, but a graviton, which is a component of gravity. It's a basically. So with that said, let me share the video now and let's listen. And Genesis, I'm going to play it also so you can hear it as well. Hold on. Can you?
Put it at 0.25 because you know I got ADHD and he was talking real slow and my attention span kind of like just dwindled off.
Yeah, well, okay, just try to listen to the first.
What were some of the factors that prompted you to, in recent years, reconsider atheism and to come to the conclusion that that there is a intelligence?
So basically, he's asking him, how'd you change your mind about believing in God?
It's been entirely these, I suppose, biological discoveries.
So he's saying he's looking at science. That actually helped him just decide that God is real. Let's keep listening.
And discoveries about the chemistry.
So
these things.
The complexity and...
yeah, the integrated complexity argument.
Now, when you talk about the integrated complexity, is it the
Sure.
So the guy asked him, so what made you change from being an atheist? Now, how long was this guy an atheist?
Decades. from
So-
from the 50s.
Now he gives this really weird answer. The biology and the chemistry. The biology and the chemistry is the reason why. Like, so he did not know about biology and chemistry, these things, but this whole time he's been an atheist. Now all of a sudden, like I don't see an exact. I don't understand. Okay, maybe he says it later on, but the biology and the chemistry is why I decided that I don't want to be an atheist anymore. Just biology and chemistry, and so that's where my attention span left, because it's like, what? So, all right, does he explain?
Let him roll the clip then. Let's hear this man.
Unlikelihood of that developing naturalistically.
Back a little bit more there. Oh God, really?
It's fine. We have time.
Yeah.
Is it the unlikelihood of that developing naturalistically, the first complex integrated biological system? Is that where the problem you saw?
Well, yes, because after all, there is a problem about even, well, the physical nature. There's a, it's, if the integrated complexity of the physical world is a good reason, as Einstein clearly thought it was, of believing that there was an intelligence behind it, then this argument applies a fortiori with the inordinately greater integrated complexity of the living world. It seems to me this is just obvious that that argument is much stronger now.
And this was one of the factors that led you to conclude there must be an intelligence.
Yeah. It was accepting Einstein, who after all was the person who's qualified to judge, and seeing that a fortiori this applied, where of course Einstein didn't have any authority at all and wasn't inclined reasonably enough to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was not wrong. He's about to die. It's
That's what it sounds like.
I don't maybe he's talking on scientist level type of English, but this is not regular English. I understand nothing that he said, and like it doesn't sound like he justified anything about anything. It's not that he got the revelation or that he turned like no. He's just there must be an intelligence something for Einstein. The intelligence something might not be a god. Why not a simulation? Why not we are products of AI, and there's a AI running that started to run the universe thousands, trillions, billions of years ago. Like, just because, even if he was God, how do you know the right God? Which God is the God that you discovered? Since Einstein or whatever the hell you said is like it kind of has to be an intelligent life. Who, like, how do you know he's your God? How do you know he's not Satan? How do you know he's not a pony? Like, just putting God there is just us seeking meaning to things that we don't understand. We have a all, and we try to put something in there that we kind of don't have proof for. So I don't. You talk for 2 minutes, very weak when it comes to, like, it looks like his soul is escaping from his mouth. So rest in peace, sir, because I guarantee he's not alive. I hope you found God.
Okay. So let me just go ahead and add my from a theist point of view, and lay the groundwork of what we actually have been discussing. We've been discussing, and then I can talk to the two atheists on the panel. Over here, we've been discussing that theists and atheists do not believe. Let me take that, rewind. They do not have a difference in their approach with God. They think alike when it comes to God. And when I say we think alike, just like the title says, we have a concept. We gather the data, we intake all the information around us, and we either decide to believe that God does not exist or believe that God does exist. So far, are you okay with that? That I'm going to ask Black Atheists, and then I'll ask Fatty. Do you agree that you decide in your life, like you gave us your background, Black Atheist, you say, you know what? I decide to believe that God does not exist. Yes or no?
Well, I would just say like there's no evidence for it. So it's like I have to go where the evidence leads, and it's nothing that would lead me towards that. I mean, even if I wanted to believe in God, it's like nothing to base that off of. Because I
Okay, so
mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I would ask people like, because God is so vague, you don't even know really what people are talking about. Are they talking about energy? Are they talking about the universe? Are they talking about a man or a woman in the sky? What do they mean when they say God? You got to ask them and see. And I
So
mean,
do you reject all those things that you listed? Do you reject energy? When we
well,
talk about
mhm.
spirit, you
well,
reject that.
well, we know energy can't be created nor destroyed, and we know the universe exists. Everything else is just adding more to it that we can't verify that stuff. So
So what about like afterlife? Do you reject that?
I
Because when
have
we talk about atheism, I know it means the rejection of the worship of a god or the belief of a god. However, I know there is an expansive or an expanded definition where also atheists don't believe in like the supernatural. Are you one of those atheists that say, oh, there's no such thing as afterlife and things like that?
my answer is until further notice. I don't know of anything until further notice. I'm searching, I'm looking. If some come out, I will change my stance. But until further notice, I don't have any evidence of any of that.
So, based on all of this that you say, would you say that your conclusion is that you believe that there is no God?
Well, I wouldn't say I just lack belief. It's not that I believe anything. It's just I'm just not convinced that there's a God. I don't see anything that would point in that direction. So I wouldn't say it's a belief or anything like that. It's just I'm following history and evidence, and that's all I can go off of.
Right. Well, if you say you subscribe to science, you would have to do actual. It's right now. It's a belief, right? I mean, I know it's hard I'm not trying to corner you, but I'm making a point. You can't prove scientifically that God doesn't exist.
Be-
You can look at
That's why. That's right. Hold on.
because you can't prove a negative.
Well,
If
hold
I
on.
say because you can't prove a negative, that's why this is a trap question. Because if I say prove that right now I'm not in a hospital, you can't prove it. So there's no proving a negative. Either you are in my presence or you're not. Prove that you are not gay. I don't know if anybody had those type of behaviors before, so I can prove it. It's like Santa. So it's not on the black atheist onus to prove, because you can't prove a negative. You can't prove Santa. You can't prove a pony. You can't prove, like, you can't prove a pony, a unicorn. Like, you can't prove a lot of things. So it's on y'all, the people that believe it, to actually define why you prove it. Because once again, it's not that he doesn't believe it. It's not, no, it's not that he denies completely the existence of it. It's that he's humble enough to say, I don't know. And I don't know is a valid question. It's a
okay.
valid answer. Sorry, I just woke up.
No,
Well,
that's great.
it's
So go ahead,
well,
Black Atheist. What do you think
well
about that?
there now when it comes to gods, there are some gods that we know are not real. The ones humans make up, the men in the sky, the women in the sky. Ancient history shows us that ancient people make up gods. We know that. So yes, there are gods that we know for 100% do not exist, because we can look at history and see the time frame when they made them up. Now, again, if they're calling the universe God, I can't say the universe don't exist. So I gotta know, when somebody say they believe in God, what are they talking? Are you talking about a spiritual deity being? We know those don't exist. People make those up all the time. If you
How do
talking
you know?
about
Wait, how do you know they don't exist when you just said they will label the universe as a god? So you know the
right,
universe
so
exists.
okay,
So
yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe there was there's a distinction. So if they're calling the universe God, we can just skip we can skip the nickname and just call it the universe. If they're talking about an actual mind in the sky that has a gender and that cares and that has a book and a scripture, we got to throw that out. We know those are made up.
So are you saying that you agree? See, the point is this. So you reject Western religion, but you don't reject the idea or the concept of a God. So are you really an atheist?
This is what I'm saying. The difference between me and everybody else is I don't call energy God. I don't call the universe God. I just call energy, and the universe, the universe. If people want to give it a nickname, I can't debate you on the universe not existing. So if people are calling the universe God, I'm just, the only disconnect is I don't call that God because I don't have nothing, that thing don't care about me. So it's nothing I can do with that. If somebody's walking around saying, yeah, the universe is my God, cool, we straight. That's just you.
If they call now we're getting back to the conceptualization, and I'll move on to somebody else. The conceptualization is real. You agree that they do have a concept of a God, correct?
Yeah.
Whether it's your you reject what they believe, but you agree that is their concept and that is a fact, right?
Yeah, I mean, people say God is all type of things. I just, hey, if that's what you calling God, hey, more power to you.
Okay, what about you, Fatty? Do you agree that people do have a concept of God?
Yes, and I want y'all to define it, because God is a woman by Ariana Grande. You can was good morning God. We was Vikings. Like people will talk about God and say we're talking about the godly figure that people a lot of times depict in religions or spirituality. If I want a clear definition of what y'all believe by God, so we can go forward with the conversation, because I don't want to be talking about something that I believe is God and then turn around and y'all talking about something completely different. So if you or the people that are religious on the space on the panel could actually give us the definition of what a God is, so we can actually having a conversation, I would appreciate it.
Okay, great. So I am a theist who says God is a conceptualization before you can say, well, this is my God is the universe, or my God is Jesus, or my God is Allah. So first you conceptualize a God. You have a concept from taking in the data around your life, whatever information, you feed it in, and you either say, okay, my concept of God is that there is a God, from seeing the sunrise. I'm just giving you some examples, right? So it's not about specific God like, oh, the universe or energy. It's actually, we're doing more of a conversation about the mind and consciousness, which is actually, we're starting to find that there's an objective conclusion that you can get from that subjective information. Get what I'm saying?
So who is your God?
My particular God, it's a long conversation, but I use the Bible. I use different things that my family have taught me.
So is the God from the Bible the Christian God?
Huh?
So is the Christian God?
My God is the foundation of my God comes from the Bible, but it's
so he's the Christian God.
Yes, at the foundation.
Okay.
Would it be Hebrew or Christian more?
Well, it'd be the Hebrew God of the Tanakh and the New Testament. But see,
Right.
that's not what we can't.
But when you say Christian, you could say Jesus would be that, because you know there's like when Jesus comes, he become God, he's the Son of God.
Yeah, but
kind of make it very clear that if you mean the Hebrew God of Yahweh, or you know, whichever you say it. So,
right. Right. Yahweh. So
Yahweh,
the thing is though, Fatty and everyone, that's the problem. My God isn't the topic. It's, is there a God? And the idea of a God helps me form a belief, and then my belief is my concept. They all follow behind each other. You get what I'm saying? Your concept.
They actually not. the Bible is a very, like, the Bible is a book, is a manual of instructions.
Mhm.
You shouldn't be using whatever thing that you have in your head to pick and choose whatever you see in the Bible, and to, like, the Bible is clear. God is ABC. If you use the Bible to believe in your God, you have to follow the manual of instructions. You can't just do it like a IKEA bed, and because you don't like the railing, you mount everything, but you take the railing because it doesn't look good. You have to put it all together. So I want y'all to define. We don't believe it, right? Y'all believe in something. Define it specifically so we can see the rules of it, and then we can have a conversation about whatever it is. Because if we are going to do abstracts and then we're going to talk about the Bible, why use the Bible? Why not just do the abstracts and say, I believe that this, and we go from there?
Yeah, because you don't have to use the Bible, because I can move on to Genesis and she can explain. She's an Ephah a priestess, but she still she's a theist. So it's not about the specific belief. It's about my conceptualization of a God. And I conceptualize that there is a God.
Your interpretation,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. Your interpretation of God doesn't change who God is. If God is God, he was here before he was born, and he will be here after you die. If God exists, Ferry believe in him or not, he's not going to change who God is. It's just like the universe. He was here before we're here, and he's going to be here after we die. So your understanding of God is actually what you're complaining about science, is the interpretation, right? Is what we look at and we can observe. I guarantee you, Nepal, once again, that what you think about what God is doesn't have no influence in the reality of God, if God is actually God. So why go about your interpretation, right, when your interpretation is fallible? And actually the Bible says God works in mysterious ways. How can you interpret the God that is extremely mysterious and nobody knows his ways? How can you interpret that?
Exactly. We can't. I actually call God the unfathomable God. But me, for the way I conceptualize God, is that God is unfathomable. So you and I actually share that concept of God, in the sense that you don't believe it, but all the stuff that you just said about God being mysterious, and all these other things, you have rejected that. However, those are still concepts that you hold. When I guess since you were raised, or somebody that you've been
I don't, all
exposed to.
those, that's your worldview. I'm talking about your worldview. You said that you based it in the Bible. I don't believe in a God. I want to understand what makes you be different than me. And if you're going to say because of the Bible and conceptualization and all that, like, where are you getting these things from? Are you getting this from, like, where? What is the amalgamation of information that you're getting for you to
Right.
believe in your God, for you to land so far away from me and the black atheist? Like, what is that?
Right. We're not that far away from you. It just seems that way because you don't believe in a God, but you do have that, and that's how you function. Your concept is that there's no God. However, I will, before I go too much into the Bible, because it's not just about the Bible, I want to pass the mic to Genesis so she can let us know about her God concept, what she believes, and you'll see that the issue of how I worship isn't the conversation anymore, because that's what we've been doing so long. Atheists and theists, we've been arguing about, well, did God part the Red Sea? Did God cause the Exodus? That's not the argument. The argument, if it's an argument at all, the conversation is, what is your concept of God?
So that's what we are doing to black atheist friends, and this is what we're doing to y'all right now. What is your concept of God? You were trying to see his mind frame and his worldview to poke holes where he was right or wrong. Now we flip it on y'all, and Genesis is quiet. Genesis is quiet.
No,
She looking at me.
I was
She
just
looking at me like I'm a snack. And the part, it sounds a little bit confusing. So we're trying to understand. We're trying to understand what you guys talking about. Define your God so we can have a conversation, please.
Okay, so got it, Fatty. Genesis,
So
Is it
all right,
is
let
it
me
about
break
the
down.
is it about the Bible, or can you talk to us about your actual belief in God?
I think the biggest
You're breaking up now. What does
See,
that mean?
that's God.
Yeah, that's what some people say. So Genesis, you're muted now. You're muted. You're completely
the
muted.
biggest mistake that we're making right now is that we are saying the word God. Okay. I don't necessarily believe in the word of a God, but of a creator. Okay. In Ifa, Olodumare is the creator. Okay. And what Olodumare means is the owner of the source of creation that does not become empty, or the all sufficient. So, but we don't necessarily put shrines up to Olodumare. We believe that there are forces of nature like the Orisha, and we through the Orisha give praise to Olodumare, meaning this is, and the Orisha live within us. So therefore, by being a part of nature, being one with nature and respecting nature is how we worship, how we pray, give praise to Olodumare. So we are a part of the universe and a part of God in a literal way. So we don't think of God outside of ourselves, but God is within everything and everything around us. We are just within this thing called God.
Yes, but what stops, like what God is that specifically? Why, like what is that God that you're referring to? The God that
You're muted again, Genesis.
the God that
It's
muted you?
it
That's great.
it sounds like they just respect the natural world and
It's the nature
energy.
based.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. That they respect the natural world and energy is all around, and we're all a part of it. And
Basically, yeah, it's actually
I cannot
that we are literally
disagree.
a part of nature. God is with God really does not, the actual Olodumare is basically almost like you would say, if you were to take a picture of it, it would look like an atom, like the actual beginning of creation, like energy itself. It would be like the atom. It would be that would be
So the create
Right. So we're not
so
talking about. So we ain't even talking about no God at this point. We talking about nature and energy, which is what I'm cool.
Well, that's what I believe.
I'm
So
cool with nature and energy. I
Our
have
religion
no
is a
smoke
little
with
bit
that.
different than Christianity.
It's just
Olodumare does not involve itself in human like stuff. It's busy being creation. It is
Right.
creation.
so but
And
there's the
again,
thing.
go
God
ahead.
is a creator, and like is there a
Creation
figure?
is a
Is
creation.
that a figure, like in your worldview, this Genesis, is that a figure God, or God is everything and the figure doesn't exist?
There's different types of God. See, Fatty, you're asking about religions. God,
No, not religions. No.
Yeah,
I'm
we know
asking.
of
No,
the
no. She said that God is a creator. I want to understand if there's a figure. Is there's this right?
yeah,
This is
Oludumare.
God, and then He created whatever. Like, is there a figure, or is just God is everywhere? The creator
Oh, I get
was
you.
the
Is it somebody that's got that's it?
yeah.
And yeah, a spirit.
it is pretty much everything. It is omnipresent, omnipotent. It's good. It's evil. It is itself. It's existence itself.
No, but
yeah. That's not a
is it
God.
God a
That's just
singularity,
But
or
that is
is
what Olodumare is. What we consider the creator of everything in existence is called
that's
Olodumare,
confusing?
and that is what we believe.
No, but you see where the conversation. That's why it's confusing. That's why you reject it. And I want to get back to talking about conceptualization. When you reject what she has as a God, or even somebody that is a Abrahamic faith believer will reject her concept of God. That doesn't say there is no God. And the fact that it doesn't say it is because you can't even be an atheist without having a belief that there is no God. Does that get what? Do you
And
get
by
what
the way,
No,
there is
that's
no
not
worship
true.
of Olodumare. There is no sacred areas where we put the Olodumare statue at. There is no iconography for Olodumare. It's just we know that Olodumare exists. We know
How
that there's
can I?
Yeah,
so
but
we know that
I
there's-
How
don't
can
want to keep talking about religions. Excuse me.
I don't want to
Fabi.
talk about religions too? How
Yeah, I
can I
want to
reject
talk about
something?
Well, you asked.
Abrahamic
No.
God.
How can I reject something that y'all can't even explain?
No,
If I
because
say this is
I
a
am
cup,
explaining
do
it.
you
I'm
believe it or not? Now we can have a conversation. Like the Genesis can't explain
I am
on a
explaining.
So, no, she
But
said
it's
God is
not.
everything.
This is the
But
thing. This is where the conversation is going. You need to understand, and I want to talk to you both about this. There is no explain who God is and then let me know so I can accept it or reject it. You already know, both of you know, you've been introduced to the concept of God in your life somehow down the road. We heard Black Atheist say, and he explained his background, and we know that you are agnostic. So you said you haven't seen any proof to convince you that there's a God, right? So the religious part of, oh, well, Oludamare is this, and oh, Yahweh or Yahweh is this, is not the issue. The issue is that there are people like myself who accept that there is a God from data that they've received. And then there are people like you and Black Atheists who reject that there is a God from data that you've received. At the end of the day,
I don't reject it. That's the point. I don't reject it. It's like aliens. I
Well,
don't
hold up.
reject it. I just don't know that exist. If you ask me, do aliens exist? I say, Napa, I don't never saw aliens, so I don't have the proof of aliens, but it's mathematical, very improbable that we are only the life form in trillions of trillions of trillions of trillions of planets, right? I'm not rejecting it. I'm just saying I don't know. A concept is you are going to pull up a kind of an idea, and you are going to put it together so you can kind of show everybody this is what I believe. Y'all are not structuring your concept well because we've been on the conversation for 20 minutes and there's still not something that I can recognize, a pattern, an experience, like something abstract. I can understand your concept of God.
So let's do this. Let's do this. I want Genesis to present what we've been working on, but this is the concept that we can talk about if you need something right in front of you. However, the conversation is that no one can give you something and say, now, do you believe it? I keep saying this. There is a consciousness conversation.
Yeah.
It's called, the experiment is a philosophical experiment called Mary and the color red. I cannot tell you how to taste ice cream. I cannot tell you, I can't taste ice cream for you. I cannot look at the color red for you. So that is the same as with God. I cannot say, well, this is what God is. Do you believe it? However, we will, I can show you this experiment, which is give us something, so you won't get frustrated, a little bit more objective and tangible to look at. And then we can go from there and discuss the information, which is, if you could pull that up, Genesis, it's, I think it's based on, I keep saying binary code. Is it binary code or what is it, Genesis?
It's basically the binary system, and it's also African fractals.
African fractals. Okay, so give the background on that and share it for Fatty and Black Atheist, because I feel Fatty getting. That's the thing.
I'm not frustrated. I'm trying to engage. Okay. I'm trying to engage on the conversation on a good faith. And by the way, Genesis binary is exactly what we use on computers that produce AI and artificial systems and simulations and all that. So I'll just say up front before you play the video. If you say that is a binary concept, it's just like a computer works. So be careful with that. Go ahead.
Okay. Woo, we better tread lightly.
This is the toughest environment. You better toughen up.
I know that's right. Let's do this.
Welcome to Fight Club.
Got it. Well, this is the toughest environment, but I'm trying to be nice over here first. I don't want to scare y'all off.
No need to be nice. We love you too.
We love you. Hey, by the way, we love you over here, Fatty. You're gonna be.
Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all.
All right, let's get this done. What were you saying, Black Atheist?
Well, I try to keep everything as simple as possible and try not to make it too difficult. When it boils down, it just sounds like different groups of people give energy in the universe nicknames. That's cool, but I'm just like, if you tell me, like, if she explains to me what she just explained to me, I'm like, yeah, energy and the universe, all of that exists. You just calling it something different. You just giving it a nickname. I can't disagree with energy in the universe. If you say your concept of God is all around you in everything. And I'm like, you're basically calling energy your God. That's cool, but you don't have to use the word God to explain that energy source. You can just talk about energy.
But
If you
does that
call
make it? Does that make her God not real?
it's just a nickname.
But does it make her God not real, whether she named it that or not? Does it make her God not real? No, it doesn't. Right?
It kind of goes back to what he was saying about the cup. If I say this cup is God, you can't tell me God is not real if I'm calling this cup God. You can't do it. So it's not really everybody. It's not concepts. It's basically people are taking things that already exist and just calling it God. That's all it is. It's that simple.
But then you see what you just said? Exactly. And you can't say that it's not real. Just because it's not God, the God that you know, that you say, maybe, you have a bigger God in your concept that you keep rejecting these smaller gods, right? The cup God, the bicycle God, but these are legitimate gods to people because of how they conceptualize the power of those particular ideas or things. You get it? So that's why the conversation is.
I understand.
Okay.
I just don't call it God. I can explain everything she's explaining without using that terminology, because that ain't gonna confuse me. It's gonna confuse everybody else who don't know what she really means.
Right. See, here's the thing. What's so confusing about an all-knowing, omnipresent creator that created everything and that is a part of everything that it creates?
And
because that can be everything but a God. Like I said, you can replace that with a computer. Like if I get a quantum computer or a supercomputer to create an alternate reality, artificial reality, where we got put on this place and we evolved through thousands of years, is not a God. There's a computer. I can replace God with computer, with the unicorn. Like why? Why do we do is all sentient, all being, all, like if we give all these qualities to something, can we replace the God that we have for something else? Can we stop calling him God and call him any other thing that is not actually what you think is God is? Can you do it?
So you're saying that, okay, that's the thing. When you actually look into African spirituality, it is closer to what you're saying than anything.
And
is
that what you believe?
What you just said is way closer than what we believe, and you will see it when I break this whole thing down. I'm about to show you, because it's really the actual way that even the religions work and everything that within the African traditions work are all like tied in with math and science and all type of stuff. The whole way that the whole society is really run is all based in mathematics and science.
Right. And then we will go back to what the one of the philosophical pioneers of atheism, Anthony Flew, he's like, I looked in the science, basically, when he said I looked in the integrative complexity of biology, he looked at the science. And so again, when you ask me, going back to my personal belief, it's not just the Bible. You can look at the closer you get, the more you get to know the math, the more you look at the complexities of the how do you say, the integral part of science, which is the math, you see God. You get closer to seeing God and understanding God. So I hope that's just me, my personal stance on it. But let's get back to this particular evidence that we're going to present. And then Fatty was warning us that it better not be some BS or he's going to kick it out the way. So let's get it out here.
That's not what I said. I said based on an explanation of being something binary, our computers are binary, is O's and ones, O's and ones. Everything you see right now on your computer, everything that makes computers is O's and ones. So if she's going to introduce a binary system, I'm just saying, what's the difference between that and a computer?
Yeah, and it's not going to be exactly O's and one, but it's going to be the concept of, just let's look at it. We'll pick it apart. Okay, so some background. This is Dr. Ron English, and he is a researcher. Oh my gosh, we got to get up a canter. He's a researcher who you do it, Genesis. I'm going to get
basically he is a researcher that got like a $7 million
right.
I forget this, what is it called, what's the word, he got money from the government to go over to Africa and study their fractals. And what fractals are basically like these patterns in which they basically I can't describe it. You have a small thing and it goes into a bigger thing. It's something that when you look at it from a small thing, it's the same thing, and when you expand out of it, and it's I can't even describe. What is a fractal? Let me look it up. What's a fractal?
A fractal is different. It's like an image within an image when you look at it at different perspectives. So it's small, but then when you pan out it, you can see more of it, and so it's like an image within an image within an image within an image. It's an infinite. It's an idea of set theory, which I'm going to show you about Cantor. He is the one of the founder, one of the founding mathematicians. He discovered or he created the set theory.
Cantor set, yeah.
What?
The Cantor set.
The Cantor set theory. Yes. So George Cantor. Should we show them first before you play that? Just play this and then I'll get
it. No, I'm about to bring up the Cantor set.
So it's like subsets, you know? So am I making sense? Like, you know how you look at an image and then there's like a little, a little part of the image and then you pan out. It's like the mirror within the mirror within the mirror within the mirror. Does everybody hear what I'm saying?
And what basically happens, that's how they develop their societies. That's how they develop their buildings. When they built their buildings in Africa, and everything was based on a level of this African fractal. Even when they built it,
now is that correlated to God? Why can't we replace that word with universe or nature or existence or reality or energy? Like, why do we have to use the word God specifically when we can use all these words that are literally going to give us the same type of
why? Because the characteristic of God is infinite. And this does show evidence of the concept of the infinite of all infinities, right? Because when you look at the fractals, they are just never ending, and there is a mathematical set that goes along with it. That I said the set theory. I mean, I'm being very, very rough with it, but at its core, we're talking about the infinite of infinities. And she has this information to show you that an actual scientist traveled to a small village in Africa, and they studied it, and they found out information that they could not possibly have found out from Cantor. Right, Genesis? Like it was something that they've done for thousands of years.
This is actually a religious thing that they do, but it's based in math. So the whole thing is that but we'll get into it. I'm gonna show you this.
Can you guys play it? Because y'all not doing a good job explaining what's going on here. One
of the folks who makes these things, this guy in Mali, just outside of Bamako, and I asked him, how come you're making fractal fences? Because nobody else is. And his answer was very interesting. He said, well, if I lived in the jungle, I would only use the long rows of straw, because they're very quick and they're very cheap. Doesn't take much time, doesn't take much straw. He said, but wind and dust goes through pretty easily. Now, the tight rows up at the very top, they really hold out the wind and dust, but it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of straw because they're really tight. Now, he said, we know from experience that the farther up from the ground you go, the stronger the wind blows, right? It's just like a cost-benefit analysis. And like measure.
Yeah, pause it, please. First off, it's going too fast. And secondly, you have to explain the whole IFA process. Fatty said we're not explaining it, but we gave you the background on the actual factual math on it, but you have to give them the background on how they do the IFA spiritual practice.
Right. So basically, well, he was going to get into.
You got to rewind it because you went right. They don't know.
Well, this is not the main part of it. This is just. It's leading into the main part because it's just starting to discuss about how they build their things and how they're doing this using a deep mathematical understanding of things, even in how they're building their fences. All this stuff has a very embedded mathematics. Then he's going to get into when it really gets down into divination, which is a central part of the African community. Most African systems have a divination system, which is how they communicate with the creator, right? Which is also considered, when you actually look at it, is a binary system. And it actually is that you'll see that it is the beginning of how we got most of these computers and things like that, the PDAs and all this stuff. So let's go into it.
Thank you.
Out the lengths of straw, put it on a log plot, got the scaling exponent, and it almost exactly matches the scaling exponent for the relationship between wind speed and height in the wind engineering handbook. So these guys are right on target for a practical use of scaling technology.
Right. So basically, these people are able to. They're creating these fences, and they understand wind and speed and all this technology. And when they put it up to the Western math and all the things that they came up with, they use calculators for. They found out that these people are very exact in how they're doing their math.
Sounds like science to me.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm getting at.
Most complex example of an algorithmic approach to fractals that I found was actually not in geometry. It was in a symbolic code. And this was Bamana sand divination. And the same divination system is found all over Africa. You can find on the East Coast as well as the West Coast. And often the symbols are very well preserved. So each of these symbols has 4 bits. It's a 4-bit binary word. You draw these lines in the sand randomly, and then you count off. And if it's an odd number, you put down 1 stroke. And if it's an even number, you put down 2 stroke. And they did this very rapidly. And I couldn't understand where they were getting. They only did the randomness 4 times. I couldn't understand where they were getting the other 12 symbols.
So let me go into this. So again, he got a $7 million thing to go into Africa and study these Africans. What he found out by initially studying the fractals and how they make their towns, he ended up going to a priest and getting a divination ceremony, which is where you pretty much get told what's going to happen in your life. You know, it's almost like you're going to a doctor and you're getting read by the doctor. So the person comes into a babalawo. The babalawo does your reading. It tells you what's going on with you. If you're sick, if you need some, if you're whatever might be going on, and then gives you certain stuff that you have to do, otherwise. So when he saw how they were doing this, he said, wait, this looks really familiar, right? So let's go.
They wouldn't tell me. They said, no, I can't tell you about this. I said, well, look, I'll pay you. You can be my teacher, and I'll come each day and pay you. He said, it's not a matter of money. This is a religious matter. And finally,
so he said, hey, he gonna pay them. So he said, well, no, I want to know how you guys are doing this. This is amazing. How are you coming up with this? And this is looking something. This is binary system of 1s and 2s, which is actually it actually is looking into expansion and contraction. So that's what this is really representing: expansion and contraction, lightness, darkness, et cetera, et cetera. So
they did the randomness 4 times. I couldn't understand where they were getting the other 12 symbols. And they wouldn't tell me. They said, no, I can't tell you about this. I said, well, look, I'll pay you. You can be my teacher, and I'll come each day and pay you. He said, it's not a matter of money. This is a religious matter. And finally, out of desperation, I said, well, let me explain George Cantor in 1877. And I started explaining, why I was there in Africa. And they got very excited when they saw the Cantor set. And one of them said, come here, I think I can help you out here. And so he took me through the initiation ritual for a Bamana priest. And of course, I was only interested in the math. So the whole time he kept shaking his head going, I didn't learn it this way. But I had to sleep with a cola nut next to my bed, buried in sand, and give 7 coins to 7 lepers, and so on. And finally, he revealed the truth of the matter. And it turns out it's a pseudo-random number generator. They're using deterministic chaos. When you have a 4-bit symbol, you then put it together with another one sideways. So even plus odd gives you odd. Odd plus even gives you odd. Even plus even gives you even. Odd plus odd gives you even. It's addition modulo 2, just like in the parity bit check on your computer. And then you take this symbol and you put it back in, so it's a self-generating diversity of symbols.
So when a person is getting a divination done, this is what the babalawo is doing to get your reading, is that they're basically coming up with a number, and that number equals out to an Odu, and that Odu equals out to a story, almost like a search engine that you would type a certain thing in, and it would give you certain zeros and one. It would give you something back and goes into a database of information and give you the answers, similar to that. So that's exactly what Ifa divination is, and this is what the babalawo priest of Ifa do. Like I do divination. Most of the other babalawos do some level.
Genesis, is this math?
Yes.
Yes,
They have when they do the divination, they have to.
I will not judge it. I will listen to everything, but half of the video is in, and I still don't understand where is the God connection. So let's keep going.
Okay, let me explain a little bit before she plays it. It's a God connection because it's an ancient religious practice, spiritual practice, where they contact God. She says it's like the Akashic records, but the priests contact the spirit realm and they contact the spirits, their God, the pantheon of gods. I'm just being somebody
They
who
don't necessarily contact the spirit. When they do the divination, there's a certain level of Odu that are memorized by the priest.
No. I need to say it on a level. I know you're an expert at it, but for somebody who doesn't know the religion, I don't want to make it too complex. So, do they contact the spirit realm? Yes or no?
No, they contact. A number comes out, and the number equals a story, and that story equals what's.
So they're
going
not
on.
contacting the spirit realm.
Well, their prayers open up the portal for this to be correct when they do.
The portal to
They
where?
do a specific level of prayer that'll open it up so that when they throw this, and they consecrate.
Wait, hold on.
The portal.
Genesis, what does it open up?
A portal.
A portal to where?
To heaven, to the afterlife,
Spirit
to the
realm.
world, to the
Okay,
spirit realm.
so that's why I'm trying to make it as basic as possible. So and you can get the details for sure because I know you're an expert, but I'm telling Fatty because he's like he still doesn't see it. This is a practice that they've been doing to contact the spirit realm, to contact to
get the answers.
The Akashic records, she says, but like gods or whatever spirits guide them to the Akashic records.
Yeah.
And y'all believe in this, by the way?
No, wait. Before she answers that, then the guy that you're listening to is a scientist and a mathematician, and he goes over there with the information from George Cantor, who is a mathematician who developed set theory in science, hardcore fact academic science. It's matching up with what already scientists have been what George Cantor discovered, and it works. It's actually a system that works. That's why you hear the scientists, the professor saying, oh, to get access to it, I had to go, what do you say, pay some lepers. And he actually did the religious
ritual. We actually got initiated to actually learn this, and then found out because they're not going to teach it to you. You gotta be initiated. And once you get initiated, then they showed it to him, and he said, "Okay, this is binary." Then he was able to break it down to even how the actual binary system of all your modern computing and PDAs are.
Do you know exactly what the ritual is, or the thing is, all these things is?
Yeah, I do know what the ritual is.
Open a portal right now.
No, before she does all that.
That's not how it works, honey.
We want to show you the information.
Open the portal for me right now.
Wait a minute.
You know what to do. Abracadabra.
I don't want any portals open. Don't open any portals over here, please. But I do want to show you the information. And Black Atheist, did you want to jump in before she walked away? So
I'm really listening and trying to understand this concept, you call it the conceptualization of this God. I'm not hearing anything that would lead me towards a God. All I hear so far is just, they have religious practices that line up with science. I don't know.
Pretty much. That's what.
Yeah. And I'm
it
sounds interesting. It sounds interesting. Like it's something I need to look into and learn about.
African religion is very scientific and mathematics based. It's based in math and science.
Yeah. You and I are in agreement 100%.
Thank you, Tahiti.
Even from the little bit that
I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Even from the little bit that
the whole thing. But
I'm not going to miss it. I'm here. I'm listening.
I got you. Okay.
I'm gonna play the rest of this video so that we can get to the part where.
Thank you for everybody for being here. Please hit the like and so let's keep listening to this. Clip. Go ahead. Thank you.
We're truly using a kind of deterministic chaos in doing this. Now, because it's a binary code, you can actually implement this in hardware. What a fantastic teaching tool that should be in African engineering schools. And the most interesting thing I found out about it was historical.
Pause it. Now you see, Fatty, When we over here, we bring sources. We source up or shut up. So he said it is a binary code and a binary system. Go ahead.
Implement this in hardware. What a fantastic teaching tool that should be in African engineering schools. And the most interesting thing I found out about it was historical. In the 12th century, Hugo of Santillana brought it from Islamic mystics into Spain. And there it entered into the alchemy community as geomancy, the divination through the earth. This is a geomantic chart drawn by for King Richard II in 1390. Leibniz, the German mathematician, talked about geomancy in his dissertation called De Combinatoria. And he said, well, instead of using 1 stroke and 2 strokes, let's use a 1 and a 0. And we can count by powers of 2, right? 1s and 0s, the binary code. George Boole took Leibniz's binary code and created Boolean algebra, and John von Neumann took Boolean algebra and created the digital computer. So all these little PDAs and laptops, every digital circuit in the world started in Africa.
Genesis, can I pause that too? No, I can't. You have control of it. Okay. I just want to point out, he's naming a list of scientists. Granted, some are alchemists, but he's naming a list of scientists who pretty much this Bamana African divination system that they, set there's a groundwork set for it and they knew about it. Not just George Cantor. I just want to point that out. So go ahead. Thank you.
Right. And so I wanted to show you guys what the actual Odoo e-file looks like so you can see.
No. Not before you finish this, please.
It's over with. That was it.
No, you didn't show with the houses and stuff. Is that what you're gonna show?
Yeah, I was gonna show the actual how the Odoo and then the Cantor set and then the actual, what was it called? The I Ching. Because all those divination systems are similar and they all have that same kind of that's
pattern great.
How they do it. So this is the Odoo, as you can see, and this is how they do divination. So like I said, it's like a search engine. And when he talks about the binary system, this is how in computing, this is how computations are done. Yeah. And so we have been using, so all divination is a computation system.
And these are spiritual practices, y'all.
Yes. So
and what
spiritual
what did you want to go ahead, Fatty?
Is that what are you're describing? Some people describe alchemy as science. We put 2 potions together and you put a little bit of dirt and we rub it on your neck, and now the neck it doesn't work. Right, like the neck is good.
But this is the thing.
Like y'all are describing science and engineering. What does this has to do with God? I don't get it.
It works.
I think that works. The fact that we separate science and engineering from God is insane.
No, please.
When in Africa, God is all in one thing. There's no separation of God from.
The video that you play should be a clarifying video so we can understand the concept. And now we are even more confused. What the fuck? What the hell?
Okay, Fatty, what are you confused about with the video? Hold on, Genesis. Before
y'all are describing, it looks like circuits, it looks like math, it looks like theology, it looks like engineering. What does this have to do with God?
Okay, let me take this down. What we just saw is a scientist saying that he actually went to a village in Africa, an African region, a region of Africa, and he acquired ancient spiritual divination practice information. This information is valid and it's useful for him, and it aligns with information that is in science that is founded in George Cantor's set theory.
Okay.
Now, the reason she's presenting it and because you're asking for show me something, it is impossible for these people who have done this for thousands of years to have known anything at all about what's going on in the secular world as far as with science and academics.
How do you know?
Because I was going to say, and in fact, the scientists and the academics, Fatty and Black Atheists, went to these ancient people and they acquired their process that they use, and they took it from them and said, we're going to use this to make computations. What does AI do? Now I get it. I'm not a computer scientist or anything like that, but we know that it predicts, right? We use it for programming. This system is a divination system that actually does predictions, but when we talk about it does fortunes, futures, tells everything. And this is a system that they've been using. Now, yes, you could say, well, that's because it was human engineering and human ingenuity and human this. But they have been using it as as contacting spirits. And it has been, well, I know Genesis, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to your belief, but I have to keep it basic. Contacting the spirit realm.
Yeah,
into it.
It sounds like we're going backwards. This is what the Mayans was doing. Please, God, make it rain. I can predict this. And if we go to this and we rub this herb, we can predict that. Genesis said, I know what it is. I asked her to open a portal. She went to the toilet and she opened the portal. She came back.
Nobody's opening a portal in here.
She's here.
Privately and open.
No, it's fine. But what I want to know is, if this is actually proven, this is Genesis. What can we, like, if this is divinations and the ritual, what were the divinations that people kind of got it right that proved that God exists? Can you give me examples?
No,
did they predict the 9/11? Did they predict the Hurricane Katrina? What did they predict that was right?
It can, and she can answer. I know. I'm sorry, Genesis, but
go ahead.
Every year they have a
prove God exists. We're showing you hard evidence of a divination system that has been used by priests and in a spiritual way, and now it's correlating, or it's being actually used in mainstream science. So correlating with Cantor's theory, set theory. Go ahead, Genesis.
And then that basically your computers and all this stuff is kind of based on this same binary system. The whole concept of computing comes from the actual aspect of divination. And see, the thing is that science was not separate from religion in the past. We did not have a separate of understanding God from actual science when ancient civilizations existed. So therefore, now that it's separate, people can't understand how does that prove that God exists? Well, in the past, people did not separate God from the science. Science
is God, right? Or science explains God?
Both.
Science is God. Math is basically when you can look at different, again, scientists, mathematicians that say math is they'll say math comes from God, or math is the voice of God. Math shows me God. And yes, you don't see it at that way because you don't conceptualize a God. You reject an existence of a God. You were like, show me something that, what do you guys believe? Or show me something that we can work off of. Well, we're working off of this particular idea that leads us to our belief to reinforce our conceptualization of God.
So can math exist with no God?
What about pi? What about a circle? What about how a circle is perfect circle 360
Again, we have pi, an infinite number. We're talking about infinity. God has been equated to infinity. So set theory, pi, these are numbers. Again, this isn't something that you have to believe. We're not trying to make
No. I'm trying to understand. Let me ask you something. This is a question. You got it. Have you got, when did God create the earth, for example? Can you guys give me a definitive answer, or are you guys still not? When did God create the earth?
I mean, science says the earth is 4 billion years old, 3-point-something billion years old.
Do you believe in science, or do you believe in God created created people 10,000, whatever the number is, years ago? Because y'all are using, one second, y'all using science. For example, there's fossils that been on this planet for millions of years. Science and the Bible actually don't correlate with each other, because the Bible says that the planet was created 0.00001% of the time that science actually said that we are here. Which one do you believe? Is in the science or is in the Bible? Because you said the Bible is your kind of ground base for what y'all doing.
But
Right. The
but see,
Bible doesn't say a definitive number.
It's between
So
I think 6,000 and 10,000, something like that. Let's go with that.
people do they add it up and they add all this, but the Bible doesn't state a definitive number of when the earth existed. That the beginning, when you talk about the book of Genesis, the first and the second chapters, that was people wrote that down. There's so much esoteric knowledge in there. So the earth existed before humans existed. You get what I'm saying? The earth was here. And so for me to believe, it doesn't go against the Bible. My point is, I follow science and the proof that the earth is billions of years old, and that doesn't stop me from actually using the Bible.
Yeah, it actually does, because fossils of dinosaurs were founded that have millions of years. It goes against the Garden of Eden, the Garden of Adam and Eve, and like the God create. It goes against the Bible. Absolutely goes.
Okay. Well, see,
but they're not talking about the Bible God though right now.
No, but they say that the past said that the base of our beliefs come from the Christian Bible. So what gives?
Right. So I don't, again, it goes back to before you asked me to lock me into something, and I'm fine. I have my own conceptualization. Everybody does. It's not just, you have different Christian sects that don't believe anything. You know, they conform, or I'm sorry, not conform. They form their belief of God and their doctrines off of their own concepts and ideas. You get what I'm saying? So I don't, because there's facts that the earth is billions of years old. We could, it's tangible evidence, objective evidence. I don't subscribe to a 6,000-year-old earth. That's ridiculous.
So who was here before, the dinosaurs or the men?
Of course, dinosaurs. Science shows us that.
Doesn't that go against the Bible?
Not necessarily.
So wait.
What? I thought
now you want to talk about the Bible.
Though.
This is a different conversation.
Yeah, I thought we was talking about the African divination ceremony.
Right. Well, I think that because people want to get I think the Bible outlines God in a more concrete way, whereas in African spirituality, God is like outside of a lot of, it's like there's nothing really there to describe exactly God. God is everything. God is science, math, technology, everything.
Right. That's the same thing even with the Abrahamic faith. God is everything. But let me say this about the Bible. The people who wrote the Bible, they didn't have the information that we have about dinosaurs. And okay, I get it. They say, well, you're going to go against God. And we have Black Sage rejoined us. He may have a different concept than I do. So when they wrote down the beginning, it wasn't, this is my concept and this is my belief. This is from my information, the data that I've received. Obviously, knowing that the earth is billions of years old, this was something written from their perspective. And it was whatever God gave them. I can still say they were divinely inspired, but whatever God gave them, they didn't have the knowledge, or they weren't given that information that we know now that the earth is billions of years old. It doesn't make me say, oh, that's a lie. I have to reject it. I can understand from what you just saw, what I just did. I understand what happened. And again, this is my position. Nobody on here has to take this position. So
I think that, see the difference. So, okay, in African spirituality, at least with Ifa, the divination system has a way that everything that you could think of came into existence, and you could, and there is an actual Odu for it. So there's an Odu for dinosaurs. There's an Odu for pretty much anything that you could think of. There's an actual Odu on how those things existed. Like I said, it's like a database. It's like a search engine database, you know, and it is the first database. Just like the I Ching is like a database as well. Like a number comes out, there's a story that it correlates to, it gives you an answer. And this was a spiritual practice, and there was no separation of the spiritual and God-like practices to the science. science and spirit work hand in hand. And it's just with the Western advent of science where it's beginning to separate itself and become, it has to be either God or science.
Okay, thank you. And I just want to say, you see what Ben Frank said, who voted on that canon? Again, we're going into the Bible. That was a great point. I don't base my belief only on what only I've been fed from the Bible. Like, I follow the Bible. I subscribe to the Torah in the Bible. That's what I mean. But I don't subscribe only to, oh, well, God said 6,000 years old. I'm not a creationist, and I pride myself off of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let Black Sage, he's been gone for a minute. Anybody can jump in if you want to respond and talk about how ridiculous, and are we still confusing?
I still don't believe. I still don't understand. Your definition of God is very open. DJ Genesis definition of God is a train wreck. Maybe Black Sage has a definition of God that we can understand, so we can start to have a conversation.
Well, she said it. She said to her, God encompasses everything. That's what Genesis said. She said they're basically saying that God is everything.
And this is what I ask her. Why
that.
Call it God? Why not call it universe?
But remember, we're not here to.
Well, actually,
one second, Genesis. We're not here to convince you of what our God is. We're letting you know that each person, what you're seeing, has a conceptualization of God. You do, Fatty, Black Atheist, Black Sage, Genesis, and I. Everyone, there is not one person who doesn't have a conceptualization of God.
What is the literal translation of the word Yahawashah? Or what is the name of the God in the Hebrew pantheon? And what is the literal because in African, because we're saying the word God, but God is a title, right? So let's go into the actual name, because they say, well, why don't you just call it universe? So we're going into semantics and English and what language. So if you go to the true language and you actually look up, well, what is the name of God? In the name of the God of each religion is the exact description of what that is. So what is the actual definition of Yahawashah?
God saves.
That's what the word Yahawashah means?
Yes, God. That's a literal translation. God saves. Or
okay,
God,
so
God is salvation.
The actual name
of God is God saves.
No. She asked me the Hebrew name. And the name Yahweh or the name Yahweh means I am or God is. But I would, after you go, Genesis, I'm going to let you go, Black Sage. You can come in and add. I was like, where did he go? I know you have things to do. But,
so the literal name of the Olodumare, right? The Olodumare, the phrase, the owner of the source of creation that does not become empty.
Okay, that's great.
The all sufficient.
Okay, that sounds great. And it's common. It correlates, or I shouldn't say, it's similar to Yahweh, which is what, Black Sage? What does the name Yahweh or Yahweh mean?
Yeah, it is just as she said with the definition of Oluware, it is to be the self-sufficient one. It has many different titles, many different names, but it is we use the term definitions of he as in not as in a masculine form or a feminine form, but in the space of it is understanding of he who exists of himself, right? Which spans both space and time. That is the essence of the creator, the essence and understanding of an intelligent designer. So it's a reason why these conversations always circulate back to the Bible, right? Even when you try to have a whole scientific forms about whether or not God exists, and they talk about, well, how come God can't be the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man or the Energizer Bunny, right? What is their definition of God? How comes it has to be the God of the Bible? Because that's what atheists argue for, right? Give us your definition of the God of the Bible. They're not understanding that antithetical rhetoric is their conception of God. So they do have a conceptualization of God. And this is what Sister Napa has been saying, that when atheists say that they don't have a concept of God or a God concept, that's wholly incorrect and false, right? These are just arguments that are being on repeat. But the argument of whether or not God exists, that has been dealt with by scholars. We talked about Anthony Flew, right? I believe you played some of the video, right?
I played some Anthony Flew, and it kind of, I think the brothers they said that it was obscure.
Okay. Well,
they say he about to die, and that's why he's changing up his religious stance on atheism, because he's about to die. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's a childish statement, right, to make. And
is my interpretation and my concept, just like you have your way to interpret things. I have my way to interpret things. There's nothing to do with childish. It's to do with my interpretation.
No, let me explain to you why, right? Because to simply dismiss something, right, with having full knowledge and understanding why he made the change is an immature stance to make. So, and disingenuous at best. So simply just to dismiss it, right? I tell people all the time, cognitive dissonance is a disease. Cognitive dissonance is the inability to accept new information.
Actually, that's not what that means. Cognitive dissonance is when you have two contradicting opinions on your brain. It has nothing to do with you believing in something that you like. That's not the definition.
I didn't say anything about believing anything. I said it's the inability to accept new information.
That's not the definition of cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is me thinking.
Oh my God. And here's the problem with most of you guys.
This one, Fatty, I'm going to let him go, and then
I'm interrupting. Can you define cognitive dissonance, please? Define it.
I guarantee you, if you pull up an encyclopedia, right?
And we'll do that in a second. When you're done,
cognitive dissonance.
Finish up backstage, and then pass the mic to him.
So,
just give him a minute.
I'll definitely do that. The problem with atheists is that they have no concept of what they have a concept for. They're just saying, no, it isn't. That's not a rebuttal. I don't have to prove to you what God is for me. I don't have to do that. What you're arguing is, prove to me that the God that's written about in the Bible exists. That's why he always comes back to the Bible.
Right.
That's not why. It's because Napa said, I use the Bible as, oh my God. She said it, not me. I didn't introduce the Bible. Napa did.
My personal belief is, though.
But that's what Napa said. I didn't introduce the Bible. Napa said.
Even if you
you can go and keep making up things that I didn't say. Go ahead, sir.
We're gonna get you talk, Fatty. We're gonna let you come in after him.
No, it's fine, but it's just saying things that I didn't say. This is crazy.
Okay.
So this is what I'm saying. So when people talk about their concept of God or lack of concept of a God, trust me, many atheists have a God complex. Do you understand that? They have a God complex.
No, I don't.
Yeah, because you have a God complex. Because what happens is that you believe that what you're saying is correct.
No.
So thank you. So watch this. So if you don't believe that what you're saying is correct, your argument, if you don't believe in your own argument, or that your own argument has any validity, then what is your basis for your argument?
No, okay. I'm questioning things. I'm questioning things. I might not know how to fix a road, but I know how to detect that the road is effed up. And I'm telling the construction worker, hey, no, you see, you asked me a question. You asked me a question, right? You asked me a question, right?
Are there people who
Didn't you ask me a question?
know how
Didn't
to
you ask
fix
me a
the
question?
road? But are there people who exist that know how to fix the road?
Absolutely, but they can
So
prove
why
it.
wouldn't you, as an intelligent man, go to the people that know how to fix the road?
Because they can show it to me. They can say, here is the road. You ask me another question. You keep asking questions and then not be quiet.
Okay, I'm going to put up a timer.
No, I will do this. I will do this. Don't ask me questions if you don't want me to answer. Okay? Make a statement. Because you keep asking me questions and then you keep talking.
Nobody said nobody wants you to answer. What I'm saying to you is don't blow past the stop sign.
So don't blow past the stop sign when you ask a question. Let me answer, right?
Remember, we gotta have a dialogue here. So
no, it's fine. I just want him
let him answer. Black Sage.
I just want to establish this, right? Don't ask me a question if you don't want me to answer. Make statements and move along, please. That's all I'm saying. Don't ask me questions if you don't want me to answer. Go ahead.
Nobody said that. I don't know where you're getting that from. I don't know where you're getting that from.
Continue, sir. I just established the precedent so people don't say that I'm interrupting you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I don't know where you got that from, though. What? Nobody wanted you to answer the question.
Why don't you go to the construction workers? Why is why a question?
Is why
a question?
Yes,
is why a question?
Yeah.
So why you talking when you ask why?
Didn't you give an answer?
Because I literally said the construction workers can take me to the road and fix it in front of me, and now I know the road is fixed. You can do that with your gods. Can you do that with your gods?
But listen, so what did that do for you? Right?
It proved that roads can be fixed, and this is how the roads can be fixed. Can you explain me your God?
Yes, so absolutely. So
okay, prove it then.
So let me prove it, right? So when we have the ontological argument of God, right? Or I'll tell you what my concept of God is.
Right.
Right? My concept of God is there exists in a universe, right? What we know as the universe, an intelligent designer, right? There for every act, for every action, action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? So if we have a beginning of the universe, right? Whichever argument you take, the beginning, even if it in itself suggests that there's something that caused it. You're speaking about causality.
Yes.
Right? So if we're speaking about causality, then scientifically, if you're arguing that causality must exist without an agent causing the action.
Okay.
If not, what you're saying is then that the universe itself then is aware of itself to create the cause and effects that we see today that created the planets, the stars, the constellations, and eventually you and I sitting here talking today. Okay. There is a cause that exists. Now, what you call that cause is up to you. Some call it Olodumare. I may call it Yahweh. You can call it James Brown if you like.
The Big Bang.
At the end of the day, if you take that same concept, this is what the biblical narrative tells us.
Okay.
That there is an intelligent designer and a creator. And this is what Anti-Flu, the famous atheist, came to realize, right? That there has to be an intelligence in order for us, because what happens is, have you ever played the game Scrabble? And I'm going to land my plane right here. Anybody ever played the game Scrabble?
Yes.
Yeah, Scrabble.
Okay. And you know, like what do you do with Scrabble? They give you a bag and they have all the little wooden letters in there with the numbers, with the letters on it.
Yes.
What atheists want us, what atheists want us to believe is that without any cause or any action, this bag of letters that you get in Scramble, someone threw them up in the air And when the little square pieces fell down, they all fell down and landed in the perfect sentence. That's what atheists want us to believe.
That's not what we
It
want you
is.
to believe at all. No,
It's exactly-
because there's
it's
billions
exactly
of stars,
what
there's
tell us that
trillions
there's
of
nothing-
planets. Oh my God.
Okay,
They
I'm
want-
gonna
they want
let
to-
him talk. After, are you
Yeah, go
done?
ahead.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
Black
I'll
Atheist, real
It's
quickly, Black Atheist, you can always come in when you're ready. I'm just letting you know you don't have to be quiet. But
Okay,
I'm gonna let
yeah,
Fatty
yeah.
go. Fatty wanted to get in here and go ahead.
I just want to make this sure. What is your do you believe in a particular God?
Do I believe
Black
in a particular God?
Yes.
I believe in an intelligent designer power of God. Many people
No,
call
but do you
him by
believe in a
different names.
particular God, like a specific God?
I believe there are many gods because people make a God out of what they want. Now, I believe my belief follows closely to what I read in the biblical narrative in
So you
some
believe
part.
so
But it also lines up with what I see in IFA divination systems. It also lines up in certain parts what I see, what I read in the Brahmas. Right?
wait, so you believe in the God of the Bible and in multiple gods?
Yes, yeah, the God of the Bible talks about multiple gods. Yes.
So one God created other gods, and then they created the earth or whatever. That's what you believe in.
No, what I believe is that people make gods out of whatever they choose.
No, I'm asking you, what do you believe, sir? Because you kind of
told
confused me. You said
I just
multiple
told you.
gods, and
I
you
just
said the
told you.
Bible. Do you
I
like?
just told you. I believe. I just told you. Listen, Fatty.
Huh?
I just told you. I believe that there are multiple gods that exist. You can make a god out of your car.
Wait, can you repeat it again?
I said you can make a god out of your car. You can make a god out of that hat on your head. You know why? Because it's a concept that's purposeful and that's purposeful and defined by the individual. You can make a god out of your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your children. Whatever you give your first dedication and love to and life for, that is what you worship.
So my Jordan bucket head is what you define as God. This bottle
So
of
you can define it as
orange
God, is what
juice
you're saying.
is God. These
You
like
can define
everything
it
is
as
God,
God.
right?
Yes, you can define it as God. Yes, you can. You can.
But what
Now,
about
would I do that?
yes?
Now, would I do that? I
Huh?
would not do that.
So now
But
that
you
we
could.
got it, okay. So now that we got it out of the way that you don't do that, what is the God like you believe in Jesus? You believe in the
I
God
don't
of the
believe
Bible,
Jesus.
right?
No, I do not believe Jesus is God. No.
But you believe in God from the Bible? Is
I
that your
believe-
God?
Yes, I believe in the Creator. I believe in the God in the Bible.
Okay.
I do not
So
believe
now that we
Jesus.
got it out of the way and we got one
Mhm.
God that you believe in,
Mhm.
the question is this: how can you prove that your God is the God? I'm conceding, right? God exists. God created everything. Now you have to prove it that your God, among 10,000 gods that we created throughout the duration we are on this planet, how can you prove that your particular God is the right one and all the other 9,999 are wrong? Prove it.
Well, I don't have to prove all the 9,099
No,
are wrong because I don't
explain it. Not
believe.
prove it.
Listen
Explain
to
it
me,
to me.
Fatty. Listen to me, Fatty. If
Yes.
you're gonna you said before, if you're gonna let me answer, let me answer.
Let me mute myself.
Thank you. Best thing you've said all night. So if you actually listen to what I'm saying, a God concept or the concept of God, which is something, a greater force outside of myself exists. What you call that, or what I call that, closely more aligns with what I read in the biblical narrative. Does the biblical narrative tells us that there are other gods that exist? It absolutely does. It tells us that there are other gods.
I want to jump in and ask
Napa, without the respect, he didn't answer the question.
What you want?
What was the question, Black Sage? What was the question?
Ask the question again.
No.
Yeah,
I actually want to know if you were paying attention. Hey, Black
Right
Sage,
now it's good.
Black Sage from the toughest environment. What was the question? What did I ask you?
Prove that my particular God exists.
Did you answer the question?
I was getting there.
Go ahead.
Okay. So my concept of God, which closely aligns with what I read in the biblical narrative, how I prove that is specifically what I spoke to you just a few minutes ago, which I know you don't listen very well. When you talk about causality, I believe my God is the power behind that causality.
How does that
every
prove it?
action,
How does that
there's
prove it? Oh my
a
God.
reaction. Now, people in the E5 definition system, I'm just saying it because I sit on the panel, they can call it that as well. Because what we do know, the God that I serve has been called by many different names throughout time. Now, people's conception of that throughout time has changed based on their environment, right? Based on their relationship, based on their experiences in life. That concept does not change. Only people's experiences change. And with those experiences, you come many different names. And sometimes out of that, you get many different systems of belief. Yes. But it doesn't change the fact that the principle still exists. The principle is that intelligent designer.
Right. So
that's what I believe that the God of the Bible is, that intelligent designer of the universe.
We already agree with that. But
I don't even understand why your God is the correct argument.
I'll move the conversation. It's not my show, right? But Napa, just to put the pin on it, Black Sage from the toughest environment can explain why his God is the correct God and the other gods are wrong. And he goes on word salad just to not say nothing. I just wanted to put that on.
Okay, let me jump.
I just wanted to put that on file.
Okay,
so everybody can see.
Before we go on to Black Atheist, because I need him to jump in here and share. Let me explain something to you, going back to what I said in the beginning about atheists. You always ask for proof of God. This is literally your function, and this is your way that you conceptualize God. You say how? You say, no, I don't have a belief. You not believing in God is actually your conceptualization of God. So that's the thing. We can go around all day.
That's not what I do, Napa. That's not what I'm doing.
But this isn't. No. Okay, go ahead.
Y'all present concepts, and I say, explain the concept and prove the concept. Well, if I say I believe that there's a unicorn that rules the world, and he's not the god, but the guy that rides on the unicorn is the spaghetti monster, is the god. I gave you a concept, and you are going to ask me, Fatty, prove it, and then I'm going to tell you this is why the spaghetti monster is the god of the universe. Okay. Y'all will say things, and then when I ask you why are you saying things and can you explain it, y'all don't even understand what you guys thinking.
Okay, so let me say this. Now, you said what you said. You didn't hear what I said. It's irrelevant for me to explain it, and this is the toughest environment.
Why are you debating?
Are you going to let me answer? Or you're gonna talk over?
No, I'm saying is if it's irrelevant, why are we debating? If you can explain your position, why are you debating then?
Okay, are you going to let me talk?
Let me mute myself again.
And then I will hand the mic right back to you. Let me explain to everyone out here what the conversation is about. Atheists you have a belief. You don't corner the market on facts. You don't corner the market on evidence. You believe, and I'm not just talking to you because you said you're an agnostic. Atheists believe in something, which is that God does not exist. Atheists believe that God does not exist.
That's not me. You're mischaracterizing my opinions.
Not you, Fatty. I'm saying the blanket atheism. So, I know you said you've got this.
But the two atheists on the panel literally said the same thing. We don't have proof, so we don't believe it. But that doesn't mean that we are not open. If proof comes in that God is real, Black atheists and Fatty going to say, "Hey man, God is here."
And
So it's not that we deny God, we just don't have a proof that he exists. I don't deny aliens, I just don't have proof that they exist. So that's not our opinion.
and I appreciate you saying that, but guess what? Every atheist isn't as intelligent as that. Some atheists will fight you tooth and nail with their cognitive dissonance.
Yes.
No matter what you tell them about it just being their belief, just like theism is a belief, they say, no, we are we're based on evidence. We're based on objective evidence, and we're based on academic science. But
Yes.
no, because as you see, there are theists who also subscribe to and understand the facts of science, right? So I'm not really talking about you particularly. We're talking about atheism. We're not. I know, and I appreciate Black Sage going into that conversation about the Bible. That is a very important conversation. But we need to lay the groundwork that there is no atheist that has a market cornered on. I am the one who can stand over and say, prove it to me. I don't have to prove to anybody my belief. I don't have to tell you, like I said in the beginning, about the philosophical experiment of Mary in the room. I can't prove to you that the way I see red is how you see red. I can never see the color red for you. I can never taste food for you. You do that for yourself. Why am I saying that? It's the same thing as God. I have a conceptualization of God, and you don't have my conceptualization of God.
Yeah.
You have your own. You get what I'm saying? Or
no, it's because our five senses, I experience seeing something, I experience tasting something, I experience smelling something, I experience touching something. If there's a tremendous amount of people that smell what I smell when I fart in the room and I close the door, if there's the same people that see what I see when the sun rises, if there's the same amount of people that when we dive into the sea, we feel the water around us, there's a consensus. What we're talking about once again is you are, for whatever reason, talk about atheists that are not on this panel. It would be just like me saying some people that are theists believe in sacrificing children to the god of the sun or the rain. Is there anybody on the panel that believes that we should sacrifice kids so we can rain? No. So why are you talking about atheists that are not on the panel? Because I'm not talking about people that believe in God. They believe that we should burn people in the crisp to give them to whatever the God is. Like, let's talk with each other. If God created something, right? And I'm conceding once again that your God exists, right? That not your God, a God exists.
Right.
A God, one God that created everything. Napa, Genesis, and Black Sage. This is what you have to prove, because you have to prove it. This is the debate. The debates are not about feelings.
No,
What
no,
makes
we're
your
not.
God
First off,
right?
we're not doing a debate yet. It's first off, this is a conversation, but we can lay the groundwork for actual debate on this. But let me
what
say
was
this.
on the title? Like you changed the wallpaper. I don't know if the wallpaper was this.
Oh
but
no,
like,
I said theist and atheist. That could be the debate. Theist and atheist think alike. That's the debate. Here's the wallpaper right
You
here.
have to have an actual subject, and then they're gonna set the debate up. It'll be a whole like thing. Yeah.
Theist and atheist think alike.
So I
so
got,
wait, 1 second. So what do you think? What do we think alike exactly?
You have a belief that God does not exist. We have a belief that God exists. There is no way that you could prove definitively 100% that God does not exist.
You
There
can
is
prove
no
a
way-
negative. The Napa.
Exactly.
And Napa. I'm going to be.
well,
Just 1 second. You got it right, Napa. How can I prove that Jon Snow sucked a fat one yesterday? I can prove it.
That's
you can
not
prove.
the
You
same
can. Hey, Jon Snow, prove that you were on a room with 7 men yesterday. You can prove a negative.
You can, but you can't prove that God exists, and you can't prove that God does not exist.
So prove it. So if
No, I'm saying I can't prove to you that God exists. I can show you my proof. Listen to me. I can show you my proof, and
show
I'm
me
going to
no, perfect. Show me
No.
your
My
proof.
proof is not relevant in this conversation specifically. It's not. The conversation is about showing you as an atheist that you don't have the authority to request someone to prove something to you for it to be real to them, or for it to be real at all. You can't. You don't have that authority.
No. If you believe in the Bible and you believe on the 10 commandments, I can hold you to the fire and say, you believe in the Bible, you are going against your instruction manual. I'm not a Bible believer, but I still can say if you are a Christian and you do blasphemy, you murder, you do this, you do that, I can hold you against your own set of beliefs and says you are not a person that is in this because you are going against the people, or you're going against the teachings of the Bible. I can hold you against your own beliefs, right?
You can hold me because I believe it, not because you believe it. So it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you.
So how can you
besides the fact that I subscribe to it? Listen to me.
It's fair.
This is okay. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
If you is like staying, and then I'll be quiet for 10 minutes. If you believe, so if I can judge you or can hold your feet to the fire because I don't believe in your sets of moral standards, religion, whatever, why you as a person that believes in God can judge an atheist when you are not like me, you don't believe in my set of values, principles? Like, why can you judge me, a theist, and say that I'm wrong, but I can judge you because I'm not a person that believes in God? Why can you come to the side of the road and tell me what I think and what I feel? And Black Sage did that by calling me childish and infantile, whatever the hell he did. But I can do the same to you. Explain that to me, please.
Okay, and then I'm going to pass it to Black Atheist.
Yes, Miss. I'm sorry, Black Atheist. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. Let me say this. I am not saying it's both sides. There are Christians and people who believe in, especially Abrahamic faith, who have proselytized and forced their belief onto people and persecuted and even executed and murdered people for their beliefs. I shouldn't have said that word, but unalived people for their beliefs. If they are doing so, they are out of order because they don't understand that they have no place to try to force their belief onto somebody when it's impossible for someone to force your belief onto another person. And then they actually say, oh, now I believe like you. Thank you. That's like brainwashing, taking someone out and programming them. I'm talking about the concepts and the belief turning into an entire concept. And that is what I'm trying to impart. I mean, I'm going to pass the mic over. I know probably people want to jump in, Black Sage and DJ Genesis, but I want Black Atheist to jump in. And then I want to show you once again, I've been showing this information. If you guys are okay with it on the panel, I want to show you the experiment because I want this conversation to move more into a type of conversation on consciousness. I don't want it to take over as consciousness, but I do want you to understand what I mean by conceptualization. And you know what I'm saying? It's not just cut and dry, like you broke the Torah. So you're not believing in God. Because even when I break Torah, I still believe in God. I did something against the God that I believe in. So I said a lot. Black Atheist, go ahead.
So I'm listening, and I keep asking myself, so like, are y'all saying everybody's concept of God is real? Like every God exists? Is that what y'all saying?
Everybody's concept of God is real. Yes.
So what can't, like, with this type of line of thinking, there is no true, there's nothing that's true, there's nothing that's false. It's just whatever people come up with, that's the truth. That's not how facts work.
Well, absolutely.
Okay, like the facts about the universe have to like we should be able to distinguish between things people made up and just like undeniable fact. If y'all are saying everybody's concept of God is legit, what about the people who have concepts of God that's like dangerous to everybody else? Is that God real?
You're using the word legit. We're gonna have to not use that word. It is when it is their concept of God. I mean, okay, we could say legit, but I'm not. I'm not subscribing and co-signing to Satanism Satanism doesn't believe in God.
Satan isn't real.
Satanism is just is not what
Satan
people
is
talk about. Satanism is not what people deem as Satan.
Right. I shouldn't have used that. That's not a good example.
Satan isn't real. Satan is
I'm
made up.
say, I don't believe in the worship of the Heaven's Gate God, whoever it is. Okay.
So
I don't subscribe to it, but is it a real belief for them? Yes, it is. It's a real belief for them.
I don't see why that concept is so difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said earlier, it sounds to me that, I mean, people are calling everything and anything God. I just don't know what are we supposed to do with that?
No.
Like, why is there a need to even have a conversation if everybody's calling everything God? It's like, it's no point of talking about it. It's just, well, the tree is God, the sun is God, water is God, life is God. It's like, what are we even talking about? It's like when somebody say,
why did y'all think that God was something just like a man or something walking around? Why did y'all think in New York, hanging out on Manhattan in Times Square? Like, what y'all thought? What did y'all talking about?
All I'm saying is, if God is everything, what are we even talking about it for? It's everything. What are we talking about? It's not. It's like if you're saying God is everything, what are we talking about? I'm trying to see, like, what is the need to say? Like, y'all are saying that
what happened?
Y'all are saying every conceptualization of God is real to the person that believes in that concept.
That's a fact.
Yes, I can't. There's nothing I could do with that. I only care about.
Listen, Black Atheist.
It's nothing I can do with that. It's nothing I can do with that.
Yes, you can. You can play their own game. Ask them: is Santa Claus God? No.
What? So do you believe?
Santa Claus is? Because some people,
I believe it.
But my problem
out in somewhere, they might believe Santa Claus is God.
But my problem comes when we can look at antiquity and we can see where people make shit up. Like, people make shit up.
And if they made it up, you keep saying people make stuff up.
That means it's not real.
And this isn't, I'm not trying to be condescending at all, because a lot of people are like, oh, you're so dumb, Nepal. So I'm just asking you genuinely, have you ever had a conversation about consciousness?
Yes, I'm not understanding how that.
So you have had a conversation about consciousness.
What does that have to do with people making up shit? I mean, making things up.
Consciousness is you went into something else. If you've had a conversation about consciousness, I'd like to say this. I'd like to bring this to the table. It is your perception of what you experience and what you know. Is that true or no?
Oh, so are we talking about objective truth? Or are we talking about people's personal feelings and personal beliefs?
You don't just function in your world, number one, as with just objective truth, because if that was the case, a lot of stuff you wouldn't even be believing. You wouldn't even know. People aren't walking around knowing absolutely every single thing is objectively. So let's stop with that already.
I know, but I'm saying we're talking about how all of this came to be, and everybody's saying individually they know how that happened, or they believe in a God, this God, that God, that. It's like, that's not objective.
Because everybody has a unique lives as an individual.
Right there. So why are we
playing at GTA Grand Theft Auto, right?
Exactly. There is no
point. Some people are going to enter the game and start punching people immediately.
But that's what he's saying.
So why do people
stealing cars? So that is what it is. Each person has experiences life a different way, and so therefore their concept of the creator is going to be different.
So why are people
read the Bible and interpret it the same exact way? We don't all read anything.
I don't talk about I don't
Right.
really. That ain't my fight. I know the Bible's.
We don't even read a book. We
No.
don't even say our ABCs and whatever we're doing.
What I'm saying is, why do people?
A room, it's gonna be 5 different explanations of what's in this room. If we all walk in the same room, some person gonna say, "Oh, the walls were blue." Some people gonna say, "Oh, that was a nice couch they had." One person's not gonna know what happened in the room. So that's pretty much how life is.
So why do people?
So like you're asking, so and so the concept of God, of course, is going to be singular to the person.
So why are people trying to debate subjective opinions and subjective feelings? That don't make sense to me. If everybody's God is different and respective to them, what's the point of even talking about it? It's subjective to the person.
Yeah, we're not debating that. You're absolutely right. That's our
so
point.
what are we talking about?
So is God objective or subjective?
Yeah. It's all subjective.
Is God objective or is an opinion?
Okay, and I'm going to pass it to Black Sage after I answer this. I will try to be as concise as possible. The actual God, when I say about my God, is subjective, what I see. But the objective part is that it is my conceptualization. It gets into an objective conversation about consciousness. So it's really like it can be very complex. So forgive me if I sound like, or if anybody sounds confusing, or if this is convoluted. The actual thing, when I say I see I want to stop saying God for a second, because I do want to get to this thing about Mary. I see the color red. You were like, everybody got wet when you talked about the water, but some people, they may have gotten wet and they might even know what water, what the composition of water is. But some people might have had a wonderful memory, a wonderful experience. It could have it evoked all kinds of different emotions that it did not do for the other person. And that right there, what I just said, that's the subjective part. But outside of that, we are talking about it objectively, meaning that we're coming to the conclusion that you cannot have the same conceptualization that someone else has.
But there's a point. Is y'all talking about your interpretation? One thing that is factual, there's some people that think sun is God. Everybody on the panel agrees that is like the sun is a factual thing. Every day you wake up and there's something in the air called sun, which is a star that we can actually see. There's reality. There's no opinions. There's no I don't believe in the sun. We actually see it. What we're saying is that, once again, if you are going to put your spin on it, and Black Sage is saying my car can be a god, and DJ's Energy say science and the trees and the forest can be a god, and you say like
I never said that. What are you talking about?
So my question is, please, I'm not talking about an interpretation. I'm talking about what it is. It's like gravity. We didn't understand gravity, but people been falling from mountains since the beginning of time, before we understood gravity. So my question is your God a fact, or is an interpretation that you put on your brain?
To me, it's a fact. To me, God is a fact. There's nothing but a fact, because creation, something. Okay, there's nothing and there's something. Okay, and I don't think that something happens just by chance.
What makes you think there was ever nothing?
This whole thing was a big mistake. You might think out of nowhere everything exploded in that for no reason whatsoever. I don't believe that. So there we go.
That's subjective. Yeah. And you know, that's fine, because what you're saying about gravity, and Black Sage, I'm handing the mic to you right after I say this. What you're saying about gravity, there is no absolute positive information. The jury's in. We know exactly what gravity is. We're still trying to figure out in science. When I say we, I mean, let me be very humble. Scientists are still trying to figure out what a graviton is. So you don't say, well, they don't know what a graviton is, so gravity isn't real. You are still subscribing to the science, which makes sense. So do I. But we don't know fully, completely about who said that wasn't true.
No,
nobody said it was.
Oh, we don't know what a graviton is. We have an idea.
But I know what gravity does.
Yes. Right? but we're not fully. You get, but so.
But can we prove that
And gravity
two
gravity
bodies
isn't,
attract each other? If you jump out of a building,
yes,
you're going to go down. Can we prove it
and that's
by,
not
by repeating the
subjective. It
same
don't,
thing 1,000 times and then the same result?
But what
and it's
about
not
when you put it in
subjective.
water?
It don't change.
So that's objective. It's not subjective, right?
Gravity does not
Subjective,
change.
yeah.
100 out of 100 times, if every last one of us
Yes.
jump off a house,
What if you
onto
jump
a-
in a pool? Does
it's-
it
we're-
exist in
you're
water?
going
What?
down. You're still going down.
You're still
If
going
you
down.
jump,
Then
if
you'll
you
float
jump
back
off,
up.
but
No,
if you
because the
jump,
body of water
Point.
lessens
Yeah,
We're
the
not
you
gravity.
saying
tryna-
gravity
No.
isn't
Because
real.
the body
I'm
of
not saying
gravity
that.
is not what I'm trying to show y'all is
I'm not saying gravity isn't real. Nobody's gonna clip me up.
let
looking
me put it
stupid.
like this.
No,
What-
I'm not
what
saying it's
happens
not real
to
either.
you-
I'm just saying is that there's different cases for where
It is Genesis. If you jump
What
in
I'm
water,
saying, I'm
and
saying,
one
here's the thing.
second, Genesis.
do
this is
either one of you guys have a inner dialogue? Do you Black Atheist and Valley? Do you guys have an inner dialogue? Do you hear
Inner dialogue has nothing to do with external
Let me
things that exist in the universe.
No, there's a reason why I'm asking
I
you.
don't have to have an internal dialogue for the stars to exist. They exist with me thinking or not thinking about them. They're still there.
Yes, we're okay. We're
No,
you're
the
not.
reason why I asked that is because, like, okay, where does that internal dialogue come from?
What is my brain? My brain shoots neurons and like I think about things. Like, what does that mean?
Consciousness. That's where it comes from. It's
No. It comes from my brain. You
Yeah,
can literally
well,
see,
you say
you
it
can
comes from the
literally see
brain.
brain activity. You can measure it when you're
Yeah.
thinking about certain things, when you are aroused, when you are in your feelings. Certain
Yeah.
parts of your brain react. It's not about
So
consciousness.
do you know that there are people out here that do not have an inner dialogue at all? So then what is up with their brain?
They have an inner dialogue.
We're
Because
going
inner
all the
dialogue
way
is
off the rails. We're going into
inner
the
dialogue is you thinking that Jesus Genesis. If you're thinking to yourself, there's an inner dialogue, even if you be the dumbest person in the planet.
Yeah,
Well,
we're
there are
going
people
off
that
the
don't
rails.
think to themselves. They don't have an inner dialogue. They don't.
They just follow the trends, but they think for themselves.
No, I'm saying they don't have an inner dialogue. There's people that do not.
They do. If you fart on the room and close the door, I can think, oh, it stinks. I don't have to say it, but there's an inner dialogue. I'm thinking to myself, this fart stinks.
Do not have that. See?
Yeah, but let's take a pause on that real quick, and I'm gonna go to Black Sage. Black Sage.
Yes.
No. So Napa, you have the settings where every time it came down.
I know. I don't know why it's doing
So
that.
don't get scared every time it came down.
No.
it's
I
because-
can see you backstage. I know you're here.
Yeah, but he's the guest. And then one of my followers is asking Romans 1:18. Like if you know what
You know what? I see you're here, and that's right. I did change the settings. God, you told me that. Thank goodness. Okay.
He's asking you about Romans 1:18. I don't know, like, do you know what it is? And because it sounds like you are contradicting Romans 1:18, but I don't know.
No, I do know what it is, but I've been Black Sage has been waiting, and I'm going to let him go ahead and talk and answer that while I fix the settings. Thank you for that.
Yes, miss.
Thank you. I fixed it. Oh my God, you helped me. I fixed it, you guys. Okay, Black Sage.
Yes.
Please.
So,
can
yeah,
you
so-
also answer that question? For some reason, someone wants you to bring up Romans. Well, not for some reason. They want to bring in the Bible, even though people don't like it.
Yeah, I told you these atheist arguments only exist because of the Bible.
Not mine. I don't.
And I appreciate both of you being here, the atheist brothers, the theist brother and sister, and everybody in the audience. I appreciate everybody here with the dialogue in the toughest environment. Go ahead. Now I'll be quiet.
Yeah, so what about Romans 1:18? What is it that they want to know?
Just to read it, and then something they want to do.
Because I mean, from the video, it didn't sound like we was talking about the biblical God, so it wasn't no need for me to bring that up. I mean, that all that's mythology is not real. Just mythology. It's myth making.
What is myth? What is myth?
Myth. Stories people make up.
No, what do you call? What are you calling a myth?
Fake. The biblical God is mythology, just like Zeus and Dionysus and Asclepius is mythology.
Based on what?
What you mean? Based on ancient people from ancient groups making things up.
Making things up about what? Why would they make things up?
Because people make up gods and stories when they can't explain things. That's what humans have always done. They have gods for literally they have gods for literally everything in nature. They got a god for it because they didn't know where it came from.
So
They got a god of wine, Black Sage. Why would you?
Hey, children's stories, child.
Come
Children's
on.
stories.
It's like superheroes,
In
man.
order to help children understand God.
all right,
Captain America, Black Panther,
okay,
Thor.
so let me help you, right?
Yeah.
When you talk about Captain America, like you know who Stan Lee is, right?
Yes, we know Stan Lee is.
And you know Stan Lee has gone on record stating that he created Captain America, right?
Right.
Right. So we know that Captain America, based on its creator, is a fictional character, right?
Right.
Right.
You believe Dionysus is real?
So hold on. So when you talk about Dionysus, right, or Bacchus as he's known in other,
or Baal, or Zeus, or Shira,
right. You know that neither one of those concepts are the same as the biblical God.
You talking about the tribal storm god? Or you talking about, like, what you talking about? Because the God of the Bible was not always the God of the universe.
Listen to what I'm telling you. You're incorrect.
I'm not incorrect.
You are incorrect. So
no,
the Bible, when you brought up Bacchus, right?
But who? I brought up. I said Bacchus. I don't know who Bacchus is.
Bacchus is Dionysus.
Oh yeah, Dionysus. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said he was made up.
The god of wine. Yeah.
Right. The god of wine.
The Greek god of wine that they made up.
I got you. It's okay.
Did they make it up, Black Sage? Yes.
Let's slow it down.
I'm asking you a question. Did they make up Dionysus? Is that fiction? Yes or no?
Let's slow it down. Okay.
That's a yes or no question.
It's not. Let's slow it down. So let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why Dionysus or Bacchus exists is because it's associated with something tangible, correct?
Correct, yes. Wine is real.
Right. Wine is real, right?
Right.
So wine has what tangible effect on people?
Correct.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are those effects?
Make you feel good when you drink it.
Or you get drunk off of it. Or
right.
You get that buzz.
Right. Or it can be used for medicinal purposes.
Correct,
right?
Too. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
That people use it for cooking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Sure, they still do. Yes, sir.
People use it for trade and commerce. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So wine, right,
exists,
has a significance in the human experience.
Yes.
That's true. Right.
Yes. But that don't mean
like anything we have, I got you. So like anything we experience in the human existence that has a tangible benefit or allows us to live our everyday lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
has a particular meaning and importance to us, right?
Yeah.
So anything that usually has a meaning or importance to us in our human experience, what do we do with that? What do we usually do with that as human beings?
Anthropomorphize it.
We anthropomorphize it. Why do we do that?
We don't know where it come from. But we just deify
but
it.
We thank you. We deify it, right?
Yeah.
It becomes a god, right?
That's what I've been saying.
So basically, it's not necessarily Dionysus, but it's wine that people are worshiping, right?
No.
Yes, it is. Because
they're
without wine, you don't hold on. Without the tangible wine, you don't have a Dionysus.
Do you believe wine comes from this white Greek god?
So
no, it doesn't.
You're not
we
listening
know where
to
wine comes from, but we know where wine comes from.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. Without wine, you don't have a Dionysus. Correct?
Right. Yes.
Okay. So
with that being said, we know
listen.
where wine comes from, Black Sage.
So,
It doesn't
I
come
got
from a
you. I
man
got
in the
you.
sky.
That's not what I'm asking you.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No,
Wine
that's not what
doesn't.
you're trying to tell me.
That's
Saying
exactly
to you
what
is,
I'm saying.
no, it's not. What I'm
We
telling
know
you
where
is,
we know how wine is made, and we know where wine comes from, Black
that's
Sage.
not
We
what I'm
don't need
saying.
a
That's not
God
what I'm
to
saying to you.
explain that.
That's not what I'm saying to you. You need to
That's what I'm
listen.
saying to you.
But you need to listen. The
I've heard
reason
you.
what you're arguing is that you're arguing the dogma. You're not arguing the principle. And that's where atheists fail. They always want to argue the dogma. Yes, just like you, who you calling on right now.
You know, Terry Potter.
Okay, hold up.
There's a
Fat,
difference
are you
between
understanding what I'm
principle
saying?
and dogma.
Is it just me, or
Listen,
you understand what
I
I'm saying?
understand what you're saying. You arguing the dogma.
I'm not arguing for the dogma. I'm telling you, we don't need fictional characters to explain things. We know where they come from. That's what I'm saying.
Don't listen. Because they use those fictional characters to teach their children about certain things.
But we know better now. Why would I lie to my
like
children when I know
mythology
better?
is
Why
meant
would
to
I lie to my children when I know better? I know Santa Claus ain't real.
But let's say on what he said. Let's say
Why
what
do
he
I
said.
want my children living in delusion? We know
But
better now.
let's stay on what he said, please, for a second, right? Like, think about it. Captain America were written by humans. Harry Potter were written by humans, and the Bible were written by humans. All of them lie. All of them make up stuff. All of them put things and embellish things so we can be a little bit better. What is the difference? Since the Bible was written by man, is it possible that man wrote a fiction and man lie and man use little books to control people and to get them to sell things and buy things and all that? Like, all of those three was written by man. Why do you believe in an absolute book that was why do you believe in a book that absolutely was written by man, but we don't believe in the other books that were written by man too? Why can one of them be a concrete lie and another one can be an absolute truth? Why do you make a decision between two books that literally were written by man?
Well, they actually say that actually the 6 first books of the Bible are actually Hebrew mythology.
We know that.
So we know that.
All of us know that.
Right.
So what's the difference between so what is the difference between that and Spike Lee?
It's made up.
The whole objective is a story to make a point. You know what I'm saying?
No. What? So okay,
right.
I can tell you, Spider-Man is to teach people when they become teenagers to be righteous and be friendly New Yorkers and treat the next person better and give their life for their loved one. Right? I can literally make a team about any single book. Any single
and then people 20,000 years later find this stuff and be like, oh,
and they say, oh, see, Harry Potter, he was the chosen one. He had we couldn't. It was Satan was after him. No, the Harry Potter and Jesus have very similar stories. If you actually look at it, Harry Potter and Jesus has very similar stories. All of them were written by men. What stops me? 2,000 years from now, somebody like we have a massive we lose a bunch of science, we lose a bunch of technology, and then somebody found a book buried in the dirt that says he was the chosen one, and he had a scar on his eye, and he had to run from the one we should not say his name. Like, why is the difference between humans writing the Bible and humans writing motherfucking Marvel stories? Like, what is the difference?
Okay, so this is what I keep saying about you people. Your only argument is based on the Bible. That's it. You have no argument.
I haven't brought up the Bible still.
You brought the Bible. Nepal brought the Bible, not us.
Listen, bro. Listen what I'm saying.
There are other gods that predate biblical gods.
Listen to what I'm saying.
To bring it up.
First of all, it doesn't.
It doesn't what?
It doesn't. You don't know what you're talking about.
What doesn't? It doesn't what?
There are gods that
there are other gods that predate the God in that book. For fact, that's 100% undeniable fact. Anybody telling you different is a liar.
Hold on, bro. Let me speak to you directly. Name me one God that predates what you read about the God that predates the God in the Bible.
We're talking about Yahweh, right? Yahweh, the storm God.
Listen. I asked you a question. I said, give me the name of a God that predates the God written about in the Bible.
And I'm trying to clarify. Are you talking about the storm god?
So if you have to ask
I'm
that
trying to
question,
clarify
then,
because
no, that's not
like
the same
5
God.
gods in the
That's
Bible.
not the God in the Bible.
Sir, which God are you talking about?
That's
Name it.
not the God in the Bible.
Hey, Napa, can I say something between them?
Wow.
Black
It's
Sage
simple.
literally said that he believe in multiple gods and there's multiple gods in the Bible.
Wow.
And now that Black Atheist is asking, what God in
Yeah.
specific are you saying? I'm not going to tell you that. Tell him exactly which God are you talking about.
Wow.
I didn't say I wasn't going to tell him that.
So
Hey,
say
Fatty,
So hold on.
slide
Are
to
you,
the
wait
side
a
if
minute.
you can. I'm telling
you saying
this
that
brother right here. What I'm saying to him is he made a statement. He said
Yes.
that there are gods that predate the God in the Bible.
Yes.
I asked him what God is that.
And I
He
asked
said,
another
There's
"Are you
question.
several
talking
gods
about
in the
the storm
Bible.
god?"
You know how many
Can I
gods are in the
finish
Bible?
talking, please?
There's several
He
gods in the Bible.
said, "Are you talking about the storm god?"
Yes, Yahweh.
I
That's his
said,
name.
"Oh, hold on. That's not the storm god in the Bible. His name is not Yahweh." This is what I mean about when I say you're incorrect.
I'm not.
Okay, so correct him.
Okay.
Yeah. Where does Yahweh come from?
Correct him.
Let me correct you, right? The God in the Bible is not the storm God that he reads about in the Baal or Canaanite pantheon.
Canaanite pantheon.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So let me correct you with that, and reason why you guys need to do more study. If you actually follow the Canaanite pantheon of deities, Yahweh was never one of those gods.
Correct. Yahweh comes out of
Okay. So hold on. So why would you make the statement you just made?
Don't let him move the goalpost.
the Israelites.
No,
I got it.
I'm talking to him. We're having an actual real conversation.
I just want to start out by saying this is the problem with people. I don't even talk Bible with people. The Bible is not a history book. It's not a history book.
I didn't ask you none of that.
Right. So when we talk about actual history, you can't go off what the Bible say because they making stuff up, and a lot of that shit never happened. Okay,
you said
so when
that.
we look at I'm just trying to set the stage. So when we talk about the Israelites, when we talk about the Israelites,
storm God, I didn't say that. You said that.
Right. When we talk about the Israelites are not this distinct group that comes into Canaan. They're originally Canaanites.
Okay, so now.
So the storm god, you're correct. The storm god Yahweh was not originally worshipped by the Israelites. You're correct. And I'm agreeing with you when you say that. You are correct.
So let's continue the conversation.
Right.
When you say that Israelites were originally Canaanites, I'm just taking what you're saying.
Yes.
You said they were originally Canaanites, right?
Yes, the Bible talks about them coming into the land of Canaan. That's not based on anything outside of the Bible. History, archaeology disproves that.
You're muted, Napa.
Okay, so hey, Fatty, you're not in this conversation.
No, Napa is muted.
I was muted. I just want to let you know, I don't want this conversation to continue because it is absolutely away from what the conversation is supposed to be about, which is about your belief in God. Not the Bible. I don't want to seem like I'm trying to be a Gestapo.
No, you're good.
Let's not talk about.
Because that's the whole conversation. They can't have this atheist. This is what I say. These are not real atheists. Even black atheists. He's not a real atheist because they cannot get away from the concept of the Bible in order to make an argument.
You and I were talking about
to make your argument.
Wait, hold up. You and I were talking about Dionysus. Dionysus don't come out the Bible.
You gotta leave?
Yeah, I gotta go grab something to eat. I haven't eaten all day.
You weren't here earlier.
Okay, well, I don't know if we're gonna still be going when you come back, but I appreciate you bringing that valuable information about the what is it, Bamana people?
Actually, the Bamana divination, but there's divination all over Africa. It's a common practice throughout Africa, right. in ancient tradition. Actually, across the world, in ancient traditions, they have some form of divination.
Right. Everybody deifies their culture. That's all it is.
In the natural religions and stuff like that. And then I wanted to say one quick thing also. Sure. In each culture, you're going to have some level of a kind of thing that's surrounded.
Deification.
Deification that's surrounded based on their culture. Even the Hawaiian people, they have Moana,
Easy.
that whole story about the volcano and how the volcanoes formed.
Exactly.
And so, and it's all these stories are really just meant to explain how something happened. Now, whether or not the sun god came down and the dragon and whatever, and then the dolphin flew up and knocked on the moon and shot an arrow up at the, of course that probably did not exactly happen, but
it did it. It's made up.
Things to explain something, to make a point, usually to tell a story or to drive home something about morality or whatever. So I mean, and I think that there's a reason why people came up with these things. I don't know whether, our brains wouldn't do this if there wasn't a reason for it. Our brains wouldn't come up with these stories. I don't know if the bees are up there like bzz, bzz, and bzz, to their people and saying talking about God. I don't know, but for some reason, as human beings, we do this. So, I mean, there must be a reason why. So, I just want to say thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Genesis, for joining.
All right.
Peace. Peace. I interrupted you two brothers, the two gentlemen, because I wanted you to get back on the conversation and on the conversation of the conceptualization of God from each individual. I can hand it back over to Black Sage
or
to Black Atheist, whoever. You conceptualize God. I want to get into that because when Black Sage said you're not typical atheist, you're not, because
there's only three.
Go ahead.
There's only three type of gods. Either you're talking about energy, the universe, or you talking about the fucking. I'm sorry. Either you talking about energy, the universe, or a man or woman in the sky. Them the only three. The rest of that stuff, it's like, I don't call the universe God. I don't call energy God. And I know that those men and women in the sky are made up. So I am an atheist because there's no reason for me to be calling anything God. It's like the universe can be explained. Energy can be explained. Everything about this universe can be explained and have meaning and purpose without attaching this vague, abstract idea of a God to it. That doesn't even explain anything. If you call the universe God, what new information have we found out? Nothing. You just calling it God just to fill in a spot or something. It's like calling it God does nothing. We need to be digging more and trying to figure out more answers than just saying, oh, that's God. Like, what do we even? That's just a vague, abstract nickname that people give everything they can't explain. We don't have to do that.
And that's go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
Because not if, but when better explanations come out, we eventually gonna get to a point where nobody's calling anything God because we can explain it all. Until that point, God exists. So yes, God exists where there's ignorance. The argument from ignorance is all y'all got. We don't know, therefore it got to be a God because we can't explain it. Once we get the answers, you got to throw that stuff out and we can just explain it.
You don't have all the answers though, Black Atheist. That's
don't. That's what I just said. None of
us
do.
So we're all ignorant.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. So basically, you believe.
They don't have an argument.
I'm sorry. What?
This is what I'm going to show you something. You have a
I
belief.
don't believe what you believe. I'm saying I don't know. Y'all just call it.
Go ahead.
Y'all don't know and I don't know.
Exactly.
The only difference is y'all are saying a God did it, and I'm saying I don't know. I don't know anything.
And exactly. So that's your concept.
So I'm an atheist because I don't call it God. I don't believe in God. That's it.
What did you want to say, Fatty? Go ahead, Fatty. What did you say?
No, like if there's y'all concept. If you say I believe in a unicorn with a rainbow fur, and he says I never saw it, so I don't believe it. It's not his concept; it's your concept. He is analyzing your concept and saying, I don't believe in it because I don't believe in it. But you have a concept. You are not claiming ignorance. You are actually claiming that you know stuff. You know what's created. You know where we came from.
Wait.
So we're not the same. So we're not the same, right? We're not the same, right?
But Fatty, does he have a concept?
No, he literally said God can be three things. Those are three concepts. Mm-hmm. He doesn't believe in either of them because he's calling the universe, energy, and whatever deity is, that's your concept, not his concept, is your concept.
Exactly.
That's
So
a
I'm saying,
concept.
real quick, excuse me, Black Sage. When you just said the furry unicorn,
Yes.
I say my concept from all that I've processed the data of the furry unicorn, I believe that the furry unicorn, from seeing the data, whether it's anecdotal information that I would share with you. I was walking through the forest. This furry animal came up to me, and it had a horn on its head. It was only one. So I from that data, from my consciousness, from me seeing it,
Yes.
I believe that this animal is a furry unicorn.
Okay.
Now, I go around telling people about the furry unicorn, and I tell them all the things that I start building a concept of it.
Yes.
This furry unicorn of the forest, don't you know? It's there. It stays by the water. I have that concept, right? I come to you and I say, I have a furry unicorn concept because I believe that there's a furry unicorn, and this evidence is why. Like how we showed you the little divination stuff with Genesis. Okay, so then you look at me and say, "I've never seen that," right? Right? You never seen it.
I never got proof is more accurate.
You never got the information, right?
Proof.
So you're now in the conversation of the furry unicorn. You've never seen the information, the data. So you form a belief based on that. And your belief is that there is no furry unicorn.
No, there's not. The belief is this. You know, it's funny. Y'all are so used to talk with these kind of atheists that are stuck on the same place and can be eating them out all the time, that when you got people that actually are flexible and mobile, you keep trying to put us on a peg that we didn't choose to be. Like, you are not going to peg us into a square. Like, we're not going to do it. We are saying, I don't believe in the unicorn with the furry thing. It's not that might not exist. It might exist somewhere. We just don't have proof. We just don't have proof of aliens. We don't have proof of God. Like, this is what we're saying. It's not that the furry unicorn doesn't exist. You want to pin us there because it's the only way that you can go on offense, and because we don't stand there and we keep moving and saying we don't say that, you keep doing that shit.
No, that's fine.
So why keep doing that? That's your concept. You came to me with that concept. I say I never saw it, so I don't believe it because there's no tangible evidence that this exists. I'm not denying your information. I'm just saying there's no proof.
So we're actually agreeing. Did you want? I'm gonna let Black Sage go. No, actually, what you just said is what I'm saying. So
what you said is that he said it doesn't exist. Black atheist rants. If you had to put yourself in a place where God definitely doesn't exist, or I don't have sufficient evidence to believe in God, which one would you pick?
Again, and like I was saying earlier, there are gods that we know 100% people made up. Those gods, we know they made up. Now, when it comes to the universe, nobody knows how the universe got here. So I will tell you out my mouth, I have no idea how all this came to be. But what I can say is I know that humans make up stories. They make up gods. I know that. So there are gods that I know don't exist, and there are gods that I can't even have an opinion on because they're just giving the universe a nickname. So I'll go on record and tell you I know for a fact Zeus, Asclepius, Mithras, Serapis, Dionysus, those are not real. We can go through history and show you where they made it up. Now, when it comes to the universe, hey, brothers and sisters, hey, y'all got that one. If you call in the universe God, your God is real. So you can have that.
I'm going to play this video. I appreciate you all being here. I know it's been a while. I took 3 hours out of your evening, but it is interesting. I want to show you something. And somebody was like in the chat saying, this is my word of the day. I like the topic of consciousness because it helps us understand what, Fatty, you were agreeing with me, whether you knew it or not.
I don't believe in consciousness.
No. Listen, okay, you don't have to believe. But my point is what you said previously. You said, I have my concept of God is not yours because you haven't seen it, so you don't have that proof, so you're not going to believe like I believe.
What is my concept of God?
I don't know your full concept of God.
So how do you prove it that my concept of God is not your concept of God?
Because my concept of God, you reject it.
No, I didn't. I told you to explain why you got to that concept, how you got there. Me asking how you got there doesn't mean that I don't agree with your concept of God. I will accept it,
So
just for the sake of the conversation.
If I say, "Oh, I've seen spirits, and I've had contact with actual a supernatural,"
I will say I accept it. Prove it.
Got it. And then if I give you the proof, if I bring somebody, the only proof that I could have, if I bring someone that witnessed it with me, I'm just entertaining this because
but there's no proof because witnesses lie all the time.
See?
No, there's not science. That proof is not having witness because witnesses lie all the time. Like witness, like human beings are liars. Human beings lie. So you bring in a person doesn't actually prove the existence of something because once again, human beings lie.
Right. So, we're talking about my personal, but now let's talk about something that's being studied. And I haven't even gotten to that yet at the University of Virginia. Near-death experiences, NDEs, and past life reincarnation, right? That is actually now being studied. Dr. Grayson used to be the head of that department. Now they have objective evidence of near-death experiences that people have died and gone somewhere and come back. There is academic science is approaching this, and they've grasped it, and now they're showing proof of near-death experiences.
But they didn't die, because if they died, they wouldn't come back.
They did die, and then they came back. So
no, they didn't.
Okay.
No, because I stopped breathing for 3 minutes doesn't mean that I can breathe. I was never breathless. I just stopped breathing. If I do, does that prove that like I can't breathe? No, like there's
no
in
brain
life
activity, no heart activity, no electricity, no.
Your body never goes like literally. Your cells are still moving on your body. Your body is like days after there's energy inside of your body. Your body is decomposing. There's things inside of your body that keep moving. Your bowel movement, the gases, and all those things. They're still in you even after you die.
Yeah, but that's not your life. That's not your life force. That's
the flat line measures what your art. Just because your art stopped doesn't mean that your bodies are not flowing. Your brain is still not firing. Like
no, when your brain is not firing and your heart has stopped, you're clinically. I get what you're saying.
Why are you saying clinically?
Because that's what death is.
I actually subscribe to that. I'm a thanatologist and I'm a death doula. So yes, it takes a while for the body to completely be in a state of rigor mortis. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the life force, which is the pulse, the brain activity, what we consider what electricity is going on in your body. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
So, go ahead, Black Sage, and I want to play this video for y'all, and then we can close out because you've been here for a minute.
Play the video. I mean, but you're absolutely right. People don't understand when you talk about death scientifically or clinically, that's just there's no more brain activity.
Oh, so now y'all believe in science. All of a sudden, y'all believe in science.
Well, first of all, I can take you offline and I can show you my background. I used to be a nurse, so I'll show you that.
I can tell that I can tell.
So at the end of the day, when you talk about what's clinically dead, that's a lack of brain activity. Your heart, that's why you have people who can be on breathing apparatuses and their body is still breathing, but they're clinically dead. Right. They have no brain activity. That's when they say pull the plug, because the body can still be functioning off of a machine with assistance or even on its own. But once they're clinically dead, no brain activity, then you're officially dead.
Can you be brain dead and still have a pulse?
Yes.
So you're not dead.
Yes, you are dead.
Talking about. What the hell are you doing?
You're not dead yet. You're not dead yet.
Yeah, a pulse is only because your heart is still pumping blood.
So you are still alive, right?
We're not talking about that part, though.
No, you're not. If your brain dead, you're dead. And
so
your heart,
my brain is dead, but
blood.
my body's pumping and my
Let me explain something to you. Yes, let me explain something to you. Have you ever seen a chicken with his head cut off?
We are not chicken.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The nervous system works the same.
Oh, wow.
No. But the chicken is going to fall in seconds, right?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter?
It's still dead. It has no head, but the body's still moving.
So I just want to make sure that we have the same concept, right?
No, it's
no,
dead.
No, it's fine.
Like
It's
you are
fine.
right now.
It's
Dead.
fine. So
Okay,
you are telling me, like, for example, the Jesus thing is what I call come back from the dead, right? If that was true, that he died, and then 3 days later, ta-da, right? I would call it, this is the true definition of coming back from the dead. Do we have any case remotely? I'm not even asking for 3 days. Let's go with 13 hours. A little nap, I go take a shower, I go eat something, I come back. Oh my God, he came back from the dead. Do you have any case recorded in the history of science that actually shows a person coming back from the dead after 12 hours, 1 day? Like,
yeah,
at least?
actually, there's some information that I can look up. I don't know specifically though that amount of time, but for a long period of time. And let's not forget that I get what you're saying, because we have made great advances with resuscitation. However, before the resuscitation takes place, people are considered clinically dead. And with that understood, there is an experience that takes place that has been documented by Dr. Grayson, and this is at the he's formerly at the University of Virginia. So let's just stay right there. You know what I'm saying? Before the resuscitation is a success, there is a point. Even Dr. Sam Parnia, he does also research on NDEs, near-death experiences, and again, people are considered dead if you don't resuscitate them, and they have had an experience during that time. But can I please play this video? You can respond to that, and then I know you guys been here a while. You can respond to that, but I want to play the video after this.
Play the video. Yeah.
Is that okay, everybody? All right. This video is an actual philosophical experiment about consciousness and the physicality of evidence that is right there, that is objective. And is that all we need? Is that all that we should rely on? Right? Okay, so we got that preface. Let's look at this video.
Imagine a brilliant neuroscientist named Mary.
Can you see it?
Mary lives in a black and white room. She only reads black and white books, and her screens only... Imagine a brilliant neuroscientist named Mary. Mary lives in a black and white room. She only reads black and white books, and her screens only display black and white. But even though she has never seen color, Mary is an expert in color vision and knows everything ever discovered about its physics and biology. She knows how different wavelengths of light stimulate 3 types of cone cells in the retina, and she knows how electrical signals travel down the optic nerve into the brain. There, they create patterns of neural activity that correspond to the millions of colors most humans can distinguish. Now imagine that one day Mary's black and white screen malfunctions and an apple appears in color. For the first time, she can experience something that she's known about for years. Does she learn anything new? Is there anything about perceiving color that wasn't captured in all her knowledge? Philosopher Frank Jackson proposed this thought experiment, called Mary's Room, in 1982. He argued that if Mary already knew all the physical facts about color vision, and experiencing color still teaches her something new, then mental states, like color perception, can't be completely described by physical facts. The Mary's Room thought experiment describes what philosophers call the knowledge argument, that there are non-physical properties and knowledge which can only be discovered through conscious experience. The knowledge argument contradicts the theory of physicalism, which says that everything, including mental states, has a physical explanation. To most people hearing Mary's story, it seems intuitively obvious that actually seeing color will be totally different than learning about it. Therefore, there must be some quality of color vision that transcends its physical description. The knowledge argument isn't just about color vision. Mary's room uses color vision to represent conscious experience. If physical science can't entirely explain color vision, then maybe it can't entirely explain other conscious experiences either. For instance, we could know every physical detail about the structure and function of someone else's brain, but still not understand what it feels like to be that person. These ineffable experiences have properties called qualia, subjective qualities that you can't accurately describe or measure. Qualia are unique to the person experiencing them, like having an itch, being in love, or feeling bored. Physical facts can't completely explain mental states like this. Philosophers interested in artificial intelligence have used the knowledge argument to theorize that recreating a physical state won't necessarily recreate a corresponding mental state. In other words, building a computer which mimicked the function of every single neuron of the human brain won't necessarily create a conscious computerized brain. Not all philosophers agree that the Mary's Room experiment is useful. Some argue that her extensive knowledge of color vision would have allowed her to create the same mental state produced by actually seeing the color. The screen malfunction wouldn't show her anything new. Others say that her knowledge was never complete in the first place because it was based only on those physical facts that can be conveyed in words. Years after he proposed it, Jackson actually reversed his own stance on his thought experiment. He decided that even Mary's experience of seeing red still does correspond to a measurable physical event in the brain, not unknowable qualia beyond physical explanation. But there still isn't a definitive answer to the question of whether Mary would learn anything new when she sees the apple. Could it be that there are fundamental limits to what we can know about something we can't experience? And would this mean that there are certain aspects of the universe that lie permanently beyond our comprehension? Or will science and philosophy allow us to overcome our mind's limitations?
Thank you so much for looking at that. Wasn't that great? Doesn't that open up what I'm trying to say a little? It articulates it a little better. I can be a little, obscure and.
That was so interesting.
Isn't it
I was actually like,
yeah, that's very, very good.
I was actually deep into that, like just mind just all over the place thinking about that. Like,
and so this goes into the conversation about God. Just because it's qualia, which you see, he also the Jackson said, wait a minute, I was wrong. It's not always going to only be something that's subjective. We actually will get to a point where we can prove it objectively. I'm paraphrasing. So now we're in the conversation. At the end of that, it said science is getting there. Philosophy and academic science are coming together. They are coming together. Look into the University of Virginia. Now there is objective evidence on what we were talking about before I went into this, near-death experiences. So let me just get the feedback. Let me stop talking. I got your feedback, Black Atheist. Fatty, I want you to weigh in on that. You don't want to?
No, it's not that I don't want to. I don't know what's the why is it relevant at all?
Well, because did you see that I can never at this point tell you, well, Fatty, this is what God is. Because I can go in all the books. You see how it was so much class?
Yes, you can.
No, I mean, but that's not.
This is a cup. You can put liquids on it. You can use it to have fun with yourself if you have other proclivities. You can spit on it. You can piss on it. I can explain what something is. I can give you not the concept. I can listen. This is a mouse. Use it to control the arrow on your computer. You can definitely explain me what you mean by what you believe in. You can definitely do it. You just don't do it because for whatever reason, it sounds like you don't have a solid, grounded explanation of what you believe in. It sounds like it's very abstract things connected with things that are written on books, written by humans, connecting to consciousness that we can prove because we don't have machines to actually do it connected to beliefs. Like it's a bunch of like things that you string along and you put it together and you put it on a backpack and you start walking. I'm not disregarding what you feel or your concept. I'm just saying that is so abstract that I can't even talk with you on a serious way and analyze it, because it's a bunch of something and it's a bunch of nothing.
But it's my person. Listen, I believe in an omniscient, omnipresent, all-powerful, omnipotent, all-knowing, omniscient, omnipresent, everywhere God. But see, I'm not taking the time to really go into that, because if you notice, those conversations aren't what we're supposed to talk about. What we're supposed to discuss is what we saw on the vein of consciousness. I can explain to you all day the fuzzy, what'd you say, the fuzzy furry unicorn God. Yes. It won't matter. It'll waste.
So explain me what consciousness is for you.
Consciousness does not just exist in the brain. It is being aware of your surroundings, and it is also being aware not just your surroundings, but also it is being aware of things that are not tangible. Like consciousness is being aware of this is me, of a spirit realm, that it's there. Me being able to realize the data or the information that interacts with me in my life experience. That's consciousness that I interact with, I should say. In my
Can that be your brain just doing pranks on you, making illusions, making you see visions, like most of human beings in the history of mankind have had when they eat shrooms, when they're on psychedelics, when they go to sleep and have dreams? Can that just be your brain firing up some things on your brain and you see stuff? Like it can be that?
You can definitely be having delusions and psycho how do you say psychotic episodes, and seeing things that aren't there. You could do that. You could be having.
If I give you a bunch of mushrooms, you might have out of body experience that a lot of people that are, like you said, on those near death experience, you say that they are manifest. Like your brain is a very interesting organ that we can explain exactly what it does. But like, what is the difference between you having a brain that does a lot of things and make you feel a lot of stuff, to make you see a lot of stuff, and consciousness? Like, what would be the difference between both?
What's the difference between consciousness? You can still have consciousness if you're having if you're taking psychedelics.
No. What will separate? What will separate your brain and the things that it does and consciousness? Like, what separates one from the other?
Your brain isn't separate from consciousness. Well, that's not only, your brain isn't the only place of consciousness, but your brain isn't separate from consciousness. That is a part of your that's how you are conscious. Not the only way, but you can't separate it, so to speak. Not from my perspective.
Can you have consciousness without having a brain?
Yes.
So you said we can separate them. Oh,
you
said we can separate them, and now you says yes, we can separate them.
Is there consciousness without brains? Yes, plants have consciousness. They're doing research on plants, and that they.
No. Let's talk about humans, right? Humans. I'm good. I just want a clarification. You said you can separate consciousness from the brain, and then you said afterwards, yes, you can have consciousness without the brain. So which one will be that?
I'm being sorry. I don't want to be confusing. Consciousness is not only it doesn't just exist in the brain, and it doesn't just come from the brain even though I said scientifically consciousness is being aware of your surroundings. I get that. However, when you go into the study of consciousness on a spiritual level, metaphysically, consciousness is not only excluded to the brain. I think I already said that. So if someone is brain damaged, there has been research showing that they are having consciousness, that they are conscious.
But they still have a brain.
But the jury's out on that. So I
How
guess
is the jury's out on that? If I take your brain out, there's no nothing.
No. So I'm gonna say you can have you, not you as a person. There is consciousness without brain existence of a human brain. There is consciousness.
Just like, can you prove it?
There is proof of plants being conscious, and they don't have human brains.
But there's not. Wait. Plants, for example, a fly trap or a plant doing photosynthesis. Now that's consciousness.
Even you said Venus flytrap, but let's say plants that have reacted to trying to find sunlight in a room, knowing where the sunlight would be, that or knowing where, even though they're in the room, no matter what, they know, that's where the sunlight is, or they know their surroundings, that they're in a dark room. Plants that communicate with each other when another plant is around. I could get some data on that instead of just keep explaining it.
Yes. But for example, my body, even after I'm being deleted, my body can twitch, right? There's a natural, my body can explode because it has gas inside. My body can piece himself. My body can, you see what I'm saying? I don't need consciousness for that. It's just a natural reaction that my body is going to have to certain stimuli in any muscle being tense, in my brain being frying, all of that, right? The plants doing natural reactions is not consciousness. It's just plants doing what plants do. There's nothing to do with consciousness at all. They were programmed to do that.
Okay, well, like I said, I'm just going to quickly pull this article. I haven't read it. When I said the jury's still out, there's research being done. There are people studying this. So let me pull this up and read this article. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I haven't looked at it. I just grabbed it. So let's see here. Okay. Plants, are they conscious? Could French bean plants really be consciously controlling their growth? The idea of plants being capable of making conscious decisions is a controversial one, but a new study involving climbing French beans suggests the concept may be beginning to take root. What was the experiment? Researchers based at the Minimal Intelligence Lab at the University of Murcia, Spain, and the Rotman Institute of Philosophy in London, Canada, placed 20 potted French bean plants in the center of cylindrical booths. The plants were either alone or accompanied by a garden cane planted into the ground 30 centimeters away. The scientists then used time-lapsed photography to track the movements of the plants until the tip of the shoots made contact with the canes. They found that the shoots would grow along more predictable paths in the presence of the canes, almost as if they could sense them in their vicinity and adjust their growth patterns as a response. Does this demonstrate conscious intent? Some plants respond to their environments by, for example, curling their leaves up when touched or enclosing and digesting their prey. You just said Venus flytrap. The basic mechanism of these responses have been well studied, but addressing the more philosophical questions, such as whether or not the plants intelligently choose to execute such actions, is much more recent idea. While not claiming that the experiment proves once and for all that plants can and do act with conscious intent, the Rotman Institute of Philosophy's Dr. Vincent Raja, one of the authors of the study, says it does show that beans in the experiment were doing more than simply responding to external stimuli. I could keep reading that, but I'll just drop the link in the chat. So,
last question. Can you have consciousness without having a sense of self?
Oh,
I never.
wow.
That's another thing that sounded interesting to me. I got to look into that because I I just never
See,
heard
Black
nothing
Atheist, you need
about
to
that.
come over here and talk to me, even though Daddy's trying to break my spirit down. I'm staying strong on this. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, this is good. This is good conversation. This is the information that, although I appreciate the patience of very many people, if it seemed like convoluted and confusing, and
it's fine, the power is just talking. But I will actually like.
Go ahead.
Can you be conscious without having a sense of self?
That's a great question. I have to think about that. I would instinctively, I want to say no, but then you know what? That's something that I'd have to, can you be conscious without having a sense of self?
Yes, like do the trees know I'm a tree? Hear me roar, roar. Right?
I would say you can't. You have to have first. You would have to first have a sense of self before you have a sense of anything outside of you. So
you think like a leaf or a tree or a bamboo? Like, do you think they have a sense of self?
You wouldn't you? Yeah, because wouldn't you have to know this is the center of what I'm of all that I'm experiencing, all the stimuli comes into this center, like the nucleus, like the center of the cell. So you would have to be that center. And I think so that's a great question, and I'm going to answer right now. Yeah, you have to have a sense of self to be conscious.
And you believe that like grass, like an individual strain of grass knows I'm grass, and to be or not to be, there's the question, what am I doing on this planet? What do I need to do to grow? Do you think leaves, like you kind of brought up plants and all that, do you think a plant that I put on my window, right, as a notion, as a sense of self, as consciousness?
Okay. From the study that you just saw, from what you saw, what's going on about plants, there's a basic self-realization. Yes. However, when you said to be or not to be, that's an evolved consciousness into a different type of intelligence. And that goes into the expensive tissue hypothesis that I've spoken about before. And the expensive tissue hypothesis is about how we our brains start to, did grow and expanse. Like exponentially, our brains grew 60% when we started eating meat and different types of, and forming a different type of diet with meat at the center. Our brains actually got bigger and our guts got smaller. Stay with me. So then our consciousness really, really fine-tuned and evolved, the human consciousness. So a blade of grass, I from my research, is not equal to human consciousness, but there is still consciousness, though.
We'll talk about this later.
Yes, we have spent a lot of time on this. Oh, I know there. Listen, I appreciate you coming over. I would love to have you have this more of this conversation. I would like for you to go ahead and say your final words. I'm going to go around. Hopefully, Black Sage, he's been here. I know you guys are on the East Coast, and you're over in Portugal. So let me let you close out, and then I'll go to Black Atheist, and then Black Sage. I'll let you have the final word. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Go ahead, Fatty.
This man has an old studio and streaming from his car. I thought he was homeless. Look at you, Black. Nice to meet you, brother.
I got the studio, man, but I ain't had no service. I don't know what was going on.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. And I'll say this, okay? To all the people watching, Napai is a friend of the show. The link is on the title and is on the description, the original video. So go ahead, subscribe. If you come in on our space, so we're going to our space. I just want y'all to prove that y'all are the roughest, the toughest, the meanest environment. Because Fatty is from Fight Club. And there's no way. If Black Sage is the worst that you get in the pot, y'all going to be in serious trouble when you get the elite people that I have for y'all. So I appreciate the invite. Thank you very much.
Fatty, why would we beat up a guest when they first come in? I told Black Sage.
This is my second time. I'm waiting. What is the time? Is the third one? The fourth one? Just let me know because I want to.
We got to let you come all the way in. We can't just let you stand at the door. You're in the foyer right now.
I will bring a helmet, but I'm trying to understand what the toughest environment is about. I still didn't experience, but I can't wait. Like this is supposed to be the roughest roller coaster in the planet, and I didn't even get my belly like the dropping feeling.
Butterflies.
So I want to know that. So Nepal, next time you invite me, make sure that we have what we have. I'm going to close the stream. Okay, right now he's going to redirect to Nepal. Come to the side, like the video, so we can move along. Okay.
Yes,
thank you, Black Sage, for proving me once again that y'all are not debaters. We will definitely we will definitely wreck y'all as soon as we have the opportunity. And once again, thank you to the lovely Nepal for having me. I appreciate you, Black Sage. I'll follow you on TikTok to see what you got, brother. I appreciate y'all.
All right, peace. Thank you so much, Fatty. We'll see you soon. We will see you all in the Untouchable Empire very soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Black Atheist, thank you so much for coming in. Don't be a stranger. I want to invite you back because I like that you were interested in no, I'm serious. Like, I like that you were interested in the information. At least you have an open mind. A lot of atheists don't. So peace and respect to you. Go ahead, brother. Close out and let us know your final thoughts and what people think of you.
Yeah. So before I close, 30 seconds. I don't really follow a lot of other atheists because I don't really like their style or approach. But I will say I am a sponge and I am still learning, and I do read a lot of books and stuff. Now, when it comes to consciousness, I'm interested in it. I just gotta keep learning about it because I don't know much, but it's one of those topics that I do like when you play the video, I'm like, man, this is like, why don't I know about this?
Right.
So it's interesting. I like it. To close, yeah. So Black Atheist Rants on all platforms, YouTube, TikTok. I go live on TikTok almost every day. So that's where I mainly talk about religion and God. So I'm live on TikTok at Black Atheist Rants. You can find me on YouTube at Black Atheist Rants and Instagram at Black Atheist Rants. Type it in, I'm gonna be the first one to pop up. Yeah, I appreciate y'all for having me on. And I like talking to OG Black Sage, man. You know, maybe you could teach me some stuff about Yahweh or whatever. But no, I enjoy listening to y'all and like learning, just trying to learn from everybody and, you know, maybe tell me something I didn't know.
Wow. What a great spirit this brother has. If every atheist could be like Black Atheist and Fatty, we have a better place. Even Fatty was like, my mind is open. But go ahead. What were we going to say? The last part.
I care more. Like I don't want to be right. I just want to know the truth. I want to learn. So wherever the truth take me, that's where I'm going.
Thank you. Wow. You heard that, Black Sage? Peace to you, brother. Don't be a stranger. I have your email. So whenever we do a build, I'll get in touch with you, or Sonetta will get in touch with you ahead of time. You have a great evening. Thank you so much for adding. All right. Perfect. Black Sage. Dun, dun, dun. Now, go ahead. You have the floor. The mic is yours.
Yeah. Again, shout out to Fatty. Yeah. I'll see you in the ring, man.
I know you will. Now, you know how we have to do over here. We have to. How do I say it? Fatty, I don't want, he's not here now. I want to be like, oh, now you want to talk mess. But we source up over here, though. One thing, Fatty, okay, about Fatty, though, I have an eye for good debaters. He is a good debater. Like, he's not the typical, debater that just talks. He wants to get in here and really get in, even if he may not be correct about some things, or he likes to debate, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
He said, I don't care. I'm still going to beat him up, right? I got you. Okay, go ahead, Black Sage. Talk to us.
Yeah, definitely.
Realistically, talk to us about what went on today and whatever else you want to say. Thank you, Niam.
I think, first of all, shout out to you, Sister Nepal, for having these discussions and these panels. whether people agree or disagree, whether they like it or don't like it. Conversate more of these type of conversations and panels need to be had. More people need to come and join the panels, have the conversations. At the end of the day, one thing is clear. Fatty clearly let us know that he's not an atheist. Even black atheists, shout out to him. I enjoy talking to that brother. But he's not an atheist. They're skeptics. Right? They're just skeptics.
Which is a good thing. You're not dissing them by saying
right.
that.
No, I'm not dissing them at all. I'm not dissing them at all. No, it's a good thing. They're skeptics. And I think that there's a difference between those brothers and Matt, the Hillicuddy, whatever his name is, that you were addressing. It's a difference between those guys, right? And I talked about this on another platform. When it comes to the Bible, right? And that's why these guys always want to get into that. That's the only source of literature, or the only piece of literature that people require evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. You can read anything else, present anything else, but that is the only thing that people require, that you provide evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. And what I tell people is as often as that a reasonable evidence, providing evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, only is required in a murder case, right? But there's other forms of evidence that you can use to be found, whether or not you're liable for something, whether or not it's truth or factual. There's other ways to arrive at certain evidence, right? And so the arguments that are being made and the questions that are being had, please provide me evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, is in fact illogical when it comes to the argument about whether or not God exists, right? Because as they said at the end of this conversation, and you brought this out, they can either prove or disprove. So what do they say? Well, the burden of proof is on you because I'm asking the question, right? No, that's a cop-out, right? Because what they don't want to do is accept the information that you're presenting as evidence. They feel like they hold the court on what they can determine what is evidence when it comes to whether or not God exists. And you brought that up all night, right? With your the anecdotes about the, I can't taste the ice cream for you.
Yeah.
The last video you just played with the colors, right? With the color line. And then the study you just showed. There's no way for me to show you that God exists. If I say God exists in his handiwork is in nature, and you say, well, that's not enough, because I didn't see God form the stars and the moon. I didn't see him do that, right? So it's really again, Fatty, a form of cognitive dissonance. It's your inability to accept new information. That's just what it is in a nutshell. And so when we look at these particular things, it's like atheists really have no argument outside of the Bible. They just don't. Their whole thing is to beat up the God of the Bible. And one of the reasons that they do that is because they lack some form of morality. Because if you study the God of the Bible, all that it's giving you is the principles of living a clean life, how to treat your neighbor, how to treat your parents, right? How to treat your children. Outside of that, the only thing that exists is the dogma, right?
Right.
So I don't ascribe to much of the dogma that exists in the Bible. because it's only used to present a truth, to teach a truth.
Right.
Right.
Thank you. Excuse me. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, no, go right ahead.
Turn your can you turn on your camera or no?
Nah.
Yeah, that's cute.
And
Yeah, this me.
kids,
Yeah, this
listen,
me.
I'm not going to be up here long, but I did see you ask for the link. So Fatty said to Google the definition. I think he said of cognitive dissonance. So I will do that right now, and then Keeble, is there something you wanted to say? Because I did drop the link for you, even though you've been on your channel calling me a dumb broad and things like that. But
Who told
I
you
don't
that?
know. Brother,
Who told you that?
I've been watching you. It's okay. Let's not get into that. But I just want to show you that I can put out kindness and sisterly,
That's crazy.
cordial behavior.
So you've been manning this show and also simultaneously watching my show?
No. I'm saying in the past. Were you live streaming this?
No, what I'm saying is I never said you was a dumb broad, like just
But anyway,
openly.
What would you like to add?
Yeah, because I want to know where did it go, because it sounds like not sounds, but you guys had two atheists on here. What did that yield exactly when it came to the conversation that you guys were attempting to have or did have? Like, what did that yield exactly?
We wanted to get. They were actually different atheists than you are. They were more like.
How so?
Well, they didn't say absolutely 100% no, nothing. There's nothing you can say that will ever show that there is an existence of God. And they said they haven't experienced it yet. And so, when we presented information to them, they never once tried to be condescending, like Matt Delahunty and you. They never tried to equate the belief in a God with an intelligence level like you do often.
Oh, okay.
So that's how they're different. But is there something that you wanted to add because you asked for the link? Would you like to add something?
Yeah, that was part of what I wanted to get into, is like, what did that actually yield? I can go through it myself, but I wanted to ask you.
I'm sure you will, and all the trolls will be in your chat cheering you on. But is that all you wanted to do? Is just ask what did it yield?
Yeah, but you ain't even let me finish. You asked me the same question twice. If you don't remember.
Yeah, because I want to see if there's something you'd like to add that is worth adding.
So you don't want me to speak? Is that what it is?
Quite frankly and honestly, if you're going to get up here and troll like what you do best, no, I don't want you to speak. But if you really want to add to the build, I let you in. So is there anything you'd like to add? Whether it's against what I said or for what I said, is there anything of substance that you'd like to add besides trying to get an let me get this clip and go over here and call her all kinds of dummies? Is there anything you'd like to add worth really talking about?
Yeah, I would like to add a few things, but unfortunately,
you're not going to ruin the stream, are you?
Why would I? You're asking me a lot of questions and you're not allowing me to speak. So, number one, I wasn't on my stream calling you a dummy. That's not what I do. Number two,
you were, but I don't care.
Okay, well, if you don't care, it shouldn't be something.
This isn't about you and me. I made the statement. Is there anything about what we talked about tonight?
That's what I'm trying to suss out. I'm trying to figure out what you. I'm trying to figure out what you guys were talking about so I can attempt to add. But if you don't want to do that, that's cool. Like,
I let you in.
Were you in the midst? Were you in the midst of shutting down the stream and was that what it was?
No, I dropped the link for you. You're here. So obviously I want you to, I'm giving you the opportunity to add.
Yeah, but I want to add, but I'm also asking questions.
Go ahead.
All right. So what were you guys talking about specifically when it came to, because I was listening from the beginning, but I also had my own show that was planned. So I understand you had one brother who said he's from a different part of the world. He was an atheist. You had Bar on here. He was an atheist. But what I'm what I'm asking is like, what became of that, and what was the conversation? Because what you said was they weren't like I was, so I wanted to try to suss out more of that to try to figure out what that was about.
Well, that's for you to do on your own. I can't suss it out for you. I can't give you an answer. Oh, Cube, this is what you should understand about that. You do what you do, look at it, and take what from it what you will. I mean, there's nothing I can't
Okay.
guide you. It's interesting. This is what this now you're the type of atheist that I was talking about. You want me to understand the or explain the entire bill to you. You're capable as an intelligent conscious being of watching it and deducing what you deduce from it. You will do that. So why do you ask me? Why do atheists, even though you know what you will do and you know what you will believe, why do you ask people to do something for you when you know it doesn't, it's like a waste of their time?
Because I thought that you dropped a link so we can have an intelligent conversation. So that's why I explained the reason why I was here. But you know,
We are
if
having,
you don't,
I am having an intelligent conversation with you. I'm saying we did a build. It went for almost 4 hours. We
okay,
talked about a lot of things. Out of that build, you said you watched some of it. Is there anything you'd like to pick out from there and discuss or
yes,
comment?
this
Go
is
ahead.
what this is what I'm asking you though. What did you guys talk about that potentially I may be able to answer, or maybe you can be able to, bring to me? Like, okay, let me ask you this. Let's get past the minutia. Were there some things that you were asking atheists that you know imparted themselves onto the channel tonight? That
Mhm.
you were asking them questions that maybe they couldn't answer? Did that ever happen?
First off, that wasn't the right context because I wasn't asking them their belief in God. So they couldn't impart themselves because I didn't ask them their belief in God. Had someone asked them their belief in God, it would have been an acceptable thing to impart themselves. Okay, first off. But you wouldn't know that because you don't really look into stuff like that, and that's okay. You're asking me, and I guess that I'm going to ask you one more time. Is there anything that you yourself, without me helping you, without me holding your hand, without me actually understanding it for you, is there anything that you'd like to pick out from this stream and comment on?
Right. I would love to pick out a few things, but that's what I'm asking because I listened to approximately the first 9 minutes, but I had a show that was scheduled, so I didn't listen to it. So that's why I'm asking you this.
Oh, so are
So
you doing this for your show? I'm glad. Hi, everybody that's hating and jealous and angry and wish you could be over here when Cube does the replay and talks about how dumb we are and how I'm destroying the channel. Anything else, Cube? Because I'm going to close out. If you don't have anything to ask me about the build, thanks for hitting the panel. Thanks for not completely ruining the stream, as you usually do. And thanks for being the regular troll that you always will be. Anything else?
have a good night, sister. Thank you
You
so much.
too. Good night. Have a great night trolling over there. All righty. So we covered it all. Did you hear him? Can you please tell me what I was supposed to understand on that build? Is there anything that you can show me? That's just the thing about him. He's over there calling me dumb. I'm not calling him dumb. But why every time he needs somebody to show him, prove to him? Doesn't he have his own brain? Doesn't he have his own consciousness, Black Sage?
I would imagine so. Shout out to Q.
Yeah, shout out to Cube. Have fun talking about me for 50 hours on your channel. When notice, I didn't disrespect him. Did I call him dumb?
No.
Did I tell him that all about his personal life? Did I talk about who he's with in his relationships? No. But he got up here. He does stream after stream. He's using me. And guess what, Cube? I feed you like my little baby chick in a nest. Go get some, here's some clout. Go do your stream. You can fly away, fly. And you know what, Cube? I did that for you. You're not on my level. I actually show you grace, even though you go over there and disrespect me. I was kind to you when I hit your panel to talk about your daddy, Matt Dillahunty, who got scared when I said the word conceptualization. No, these two brothers who were on here, they were nothing like you and Matt Constipated Dillahunty, because they're not bitter. They're not angry. They actually say, hey, I'm starting from a clean slate, and I don't believe in my conceptualization is that I don't believe that there's a God. You, Cube, are like, I'm angry with God. I'm angry with the church. They let me down. So now my concept of God is that God doesn't exist. And I'm going to be like my constipated daddy, Matt Dillahunty, and I'm going to go around and put people down and try to make people feel like crap, because that will make me feel better, I think, in my cognitive dissonance. Oh, I didn't get that. I don't get that for fatty. In my mind, my delusion, I'm talking like you, Cube, about you, Cube. In your atheistic delusion, you think hurting people will make you feel better about yourself. And that's because you've got a very angry, negative, toxic conceptualization of God. But guess what, Cube? You've got one. You've got a concept of God. And your concept is that God doesn't exist, and you choose not to believe in a God. God doesn't exist. That's your belief. Your belief is that God doesn't exist. You don't believe in a God. See how it's circular, Black Sage? You don't believe in a God. So your concept is that God doesn't exist. Your whole concept that you shaped is that God doesn't exist based on your pain, your suffering, the things that when whoever was shoveling, proselytizing the Bible to you all your life, it let you down in your mind. So now you go around being mean to people. And now, see, this is how you properly talk to a person without hurting their feelings, talking about how their marriage isn't right. And, oh, she's nobody likes her. Look at the chat. You get it, Cube? I told you the truth about yourself. You really didn't hurt me. You tried to. I'm telling you the truth about yourself. You're bitter and you're angry. And I'm sorry about that. But you still have a God concept, and that's that God doesn't exist. There would be no atheist, right? If you want to finish it, there would be no atheist if there wasn't a God. Atheists wouldn't exist if God didn't exist. Atheists wouldn't exist, right? I'm gonna hand the mic over to you.
No, you're absolutely right. I think that again, once they get the concept of what you're actually saying, I think it'll turn the tide even more. Matt Dillahunty, whatever his name is, he understood exactly what you meant. That's why he lost it, because he understood exactly what you mean. Sometimes it takes things in this community to circle a few times before people start to really pick up what you're putting down. So, but again, Sister Nepal, I think it's a great conversation.
Thank you.
I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Oh, one more thing, Black Sage. This was a great build. And no, I didn't ruin it, but I do want to say this. You want to know the irony is that Cube totally disrespects me, but it's no shock, but he does. And then what he'll do is after he does it, he will get on the phone and contact my husband and say, we're still cool, right? So I guess I should call my husband after I just read you, Cube, and ask him, we're still cool, right? Because he told me to take it easy on you, Cube, and you know I did. I don't care, Cube. It's all love. You're a great dad. You've got issues. You're a great dad, and so I respect you that much for that. But let me tell you something, Cube. You know I don't care what you say about me. You know I don't. Right? Right, brother? So with that said, peace to Fatty, peace to Genesis, DJ Genesis, peace to Black Atheist, peace to Black Sage, peace to Saw Netter, peace to the darkest minds of the light, and peace to the wonderful, amazing chat. Oh, and I almost forgot. Peace to the bitter, sad, toxic atheists. I hope you get not the ones that were on the panel tonight, and not even Anka Cat. He's not a bitter atheist. He was supposed to join us, but I appreciate him and respect him as an atheist because of his mindset too. I really wanted to talk to him. He has a great concept about African spirituality and tradition, even though he doesn't have a belief. So refreshing to know that there are people like that out there who still may be atheists, but they're not bitter, right? They're not toxic. Like Matt Constipated Dillahunty. All right, I said enough. Let me go ahead and end this stream before I get in more trouble, because you know I'm going to get in trouble, but I don't care. It felt good. Peace to the darkest minds.